I'll wait for a few more to join us. I'm going to mess about with the computer because I'm trying to figure out if I can, because I read it on there. Does it show me on there? Remember, so there is the, if you make a comment, it is going to be on there. But I want to see if I can get it on the laptop. No, that's for the camera. That's that one, but that's not going to show me. No. So let's try your channel. Go to that. It's all new to me. So I have tablet there. Camera over here. Right, we'll try that. Turn the sound down. Definitely turn the sound down. Oh, it's put an advert in. Okay. So who is the one person on it? Can I tap on that and find out? No. I've got one thumbs up though. More messages visible. Super chat. Members and super chat messages. Ken Wetherall. I hope I say that right. If I say anybody's name wrong, just excuse me. Dyslexic. So, yeah. Oh, we got another one. Rafi edits. I'm going to have fun with this tonight. Yeah, so as I was saying, how do I check? Yeah, so yeah, I am dyslexic. So if I read anybody's name out and I say it wrong, just, oh, no, that's not right. That do it? No. Does that do it? No, that just makes it. Right, I'm just going to leave that box there till I learn how to. There. Yeah, it's gone. Thank you. I'm glad it's okay. Is it Rafi? I'm going to go with that. Oh, 5, there was 6. Then we went back to 5. Probably upset somebody already. Yeah. Oh, did I? Great. Victor, how are you doing? Yeah. So yeah, we're here to talk about action figures. It's kind of weird because I've got the tablet there and the laptop's there and there's a delay between the two. So I do that. He's still pointing with his fingers like I just did. It's really weird. Yes, we're here to talk about action figures. So what is your dream action figure? What is the one you're waiting for? What is, like, movie franchise nobody's picked up yet? Or comic book franchise that nobody's done yet? I mean, I was pretty pleased that we got the Flash Gordon figures. I would like NECA to maybe get the rights to do the movie, the Sam Jones movie. That would be cool. Don't get me wrong, I do like the ones they've done so far from the comic book, but you know, the movie is a big part of my life. Let me just click that off there. Go on. No, that's not going to click off there, is it? Duh, because that's not a touchscreen. Yeah, so I can read it on there. I can read it on here, I think. Modern technology is wonderful. It would be great if it would show me. It just keeps telling me that they're there. Anyway. So, we've got 8 of you now. Come on, guys. Have a little chat. Let me know which figures you're dreaming of. Yes. I've got 4 thumbs up as well. Tell you what. Got 5 now because I've given myself 1. Is that rude to give yourself a thumbs up? I'm never sure. I'm just going to keep tapping this screen until it lets me see. There, right. Yeah. So what else would we like? I kind of would like to see what NECA could do with NECA Concrete Jungle Predator. Yeah, okay. I would like to see one from Prey. I would like to see some figures from that. I would also like to see maybe do, I forgot her name, but the lead female character in it. That would be cool. Because I missed out on getting the Dutch and his team back in the beginning. I'm going to sit on my hands because I'm waving them around a lot. I missed out on getting those. Revoltech Spiderman. Okay. For this day, I'm searching for some DC icons and want to take the Black Noir from NECA. Yeah, yeah. They seem to be. It's kind of weird because the boys figures they've done. They haven't done like the main ones. They just did the two. Maybe Carl Urban has rights issues with them doing it. Don't know, but that's usually why. Usually find that maybe somebody sold the rights to that particular character to somebody else. I know there's a few, the companies in Japan that make like I've got the Riddick and the Rocketeer and the Indiana Jones that are not legit, sponsored figures. They're just, fan made ones. Just call it Dr. Jones. It'll be fine. Nobody'll think it's Indiana Jones much. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird sitting here talking to myself. I know you're all out there listening. Well, 9 of you. Yeah, I'm looking around the room, thinking, what else could we have? I tell you what I would like to see. I would like somebody to do some sort of Wild West figures. I'd like to see the Man with No Name. But, like the spaghetti western ones. Even a Django. I know they made some, didn't they? And then, no, that was from the other one. The other Quentin Tarantino western. They made some figures from that, but then they were stopped because they didn't think they were suitable for selling. It was Toys R Us got them shut down, but yeah. Tell you what, Bond, James Bond. Why not have some James Bond figures? You could do a set of Bonds, or you could do a set of villains. Hi, what are the thoughts on the new CO figures coming out? The CO figures. Well, I'm going to be intrigued to see them. That's for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of very expensive figures coming out at the minute. Character options, yeah. The character options. I don't want to diss them, but I am kind of really disappointed that they're just rehashes, and they're figures I've already got. But I want to see. If they've improved the paint apps and things like that. I know that the McGann set looks good, and that's maybe the only one that I would buy, because I want the middle. It's in when did they show you there? It's the middle one. The TV movie one I've already got. The one from the short that they did, I haven't got, and I do like that, and I think that is a really nice design. It's like the dark eyes, isn't it? It's like from that, and I it's a nice figure, but it's just not exciting enough. It doesn't. I really like Paul McGann's Doctor, but I just don't feel that is a good version of Paul McGann. You know what I mean? That's Big Finish. It works in audio because you have to look at it, but I don't think it's the best one ever. Same here. I'm not stressing about getting them. How I've turned to Masters of the Universe original line. The Masters of the Universe figures are fantastic. It's like catching my childhood again. I wasn't. I was like, oh yeah, that's nice, and I wasn't. And then I went into Smith's, and they were on special, and I was like, it's my childhood again. And I remember going to Blackpool. My uncle lived in Blackpool when I was a kid, and we went to Blackpool for the day, and there was these new figures on a peg in a toy shop. This Masters of the Universe thing, and I got He-Man and Skeletor, and was completely blown away by them. And the next Christmas, I got like every single figure that was in that next wave. Beastman, everybody. And I really wanted Castle Grayskull, and I sat there thinking, oh no, they haven't got me Castle Grayskull. But I was okay. And then my dad said to me, was there something else that you wanted? And I was like, yeah, but I'm happy with all these. It's great. He said, oh, so you won't want this then? And gave me Castle Grayskull. So, yeah, fond memories. What have we got? Same here. I'm not saying that. I'd like to see NECA do a set of Monster Squad. Oh, Monster Squad is a dream of mine. I love that movie. It is one of my all-time favourites. I watch it a lot, and Liam Neeson was going to be Dracula in it. Would you believe? Anyway, and I would love to see if just so that I could say in a video, the Wolfman's got nads. Yeah, I would love to see a set of Monster Squad figures. They would be perfect. And what you could do, you see, the great thing with that is you could do like one of the kids and one of the monsters, and that would. You'd have to put the little girl with Dracula. That is, I always feel really sorry for her because it must have really scared her because, you know, he's really screaming at her. Yeah, I wasn't going to get them until I bought Castle Grayskull. Wow, what a playset. I know that Castle Grayskull does look good, but I'm trying to stay away from it because it's going to take up a lot of room. I don't have a lot of room, and I have things that I've got to a stage in my life where I have to prioritise. I also have the original Castle Grayskull somewhere, so that will probably appear in a video at some point. I will dig that one out. There's a Swamp Thing from McFarlane that seems cool. I mean, the character was hard to find and had a new action on him. It's a great opportunity. Yeah, I would like to. I think McFarlane, I love their figures. They are making some fantastic figures, don't get me wrong. But they need to do something other than Batman. Everything seems to be Batman. Which, you know, it's fine. We all love Batman. But I would like them to do maybe a... Well, they're doing the superpowers figures, aren't they? But I would like to see them done. They did the Adam West Batmans, which were great. A little small, but great. I suppose they did that so they could do the Batmobile and things like that with it. But yeah, I want to see them do some other figures. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. McFarlane, I like the McFarlane figures I've got so far. They always feel like they need to be slightly painted differently. Mr. Stephen, greetings, mate. Love your channel. I would really love to see NECA make... I'm going to read it off of there because he went off of it. A Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera, yes, from the classic one. The beautiful classic head sculpt. It would be awesome. I must admit, Phantom of the Opera would be a great one. I have the original ones that they made for the was it Sideshow made? If I get anything wrong, tell me. Yeah, because I'm getting old, you see, and I forget things. It's terrible. Yeah, I would love a Phantom of the Opera. But then you see, this is like the Invisible Man that they're doing, because you're always going to please some people, but not everybody. So they've done him in the suit. I'm going to stop waving my hands around because I can see it over there and it's really weird. They've made him in the suit, and everybody's kind of going, oh, but we wanted him in the dressing gown. But everybody else has done the dressing gown. Very few of them are in the suit. So I'm glad they've done the suit. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. But yeah, Phantom of the Opera. But then which Phantom of the Opera? Do you do the theatre, or do you do the Red Death version? You know what I mean? There's like two classic versions from that film. I'm going with the classic regular version. Drawing Jack Rabbit, are you planning on getting any more of the Lost Tribe from NECA's Predator 2 30th anniversary line? Yes. I'm scouring the internet for them every day. It feels weird because it's like they made a whole batch of them and then just stopped. And I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to look up and see. I'm looking over at my shelf over there. When the last one was, because it seems a really, really long time ago. So, classic 80s fanboys, so have NECA managed to sort out their quality control issues yet? Yes, they seem to have touched wood. Ow, that really hurt. They seem to have sorted out quite well. It's a long time since I've broken any. And that's why I enjoy doing the reviews, and I do them straight out of the box and I do them in one take, because then we're going to find out what breaks. So far, everything's gone fine with them recently. I'm trying to think what I've got recently in every... Yeah. So yes, fingers crossed, they seem to have addressed the problem. I do think they do listen to us. Most of the time. Victor, yeah, haha, a ton of Batman McFarlane's, yeah, should fix it. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like the Batmans. It's just I don't need another obscure Batman. Yeah. I would like to see, let me think, who would like to see? I'd like a Jonah Hex. I would like, do an Alfred. If you want to do Batman figures, do an Alfred. Do a classic Batman and Robin set. You know. The rest of the wave are all Drawing Rabbit are all available for pre-order. The Warriors coming out in September. The Shaman and Borat October, and the Snake Eyes and Greta back in November and December. Cool. What are on my wanted list? Oh, everything's on my wanted list. I want to see more Universal monsters. That's for sure. I want to see the... I know they've got the Creature from Black Lagoon coming, which is a dream come true for me. That is one of my favourite Universal monsters. I've painted a lot of model kits of that, and it's always great fun to paint because you've got so much little detail in there. So I'm kind of hoping that they go all out on painting this thing and make it truly breathtaking. Oh, Cryo Boy, you've finally turned up. Where have you been? Hi guys, apologies for the delay. Bumped into Sarah. It's always an excuse. Always an excuse. Mr. Steve, of course, Necker needs to do a Vincent Price action figure, yes, from any movie he has been in. We already got Karloff Lugosi, now we need the main man himself. Yes. Yeah, it's kind of weird because Vincent Price, I'm trying to think, he's never... did do The Invisible Man, that's the Universal monster. The Fly, he was in one of those, but I don't remember if he... I think he's the brother in The Fly, isn't he? Because they kind of used him, he's like at the beginning and the end. He's the guy that the little kid comes in and says, look, I've caught a fly and it's got a man's head or something. It's on the flight spider's one, isn't it? Yeah. But he's never really been a monster. It's just a man in a suit kind of baddie thing. But yeah, I would like to see Vincent Price. Yeah. The voiceover guy's brother, he's not here today. He's the more Vincent Price sounding guy. I've given them a day off. It's been far too warm today. I suppose that's another excuse for you, Cryo Boy, because it's been too warm today. But anyway, you've got to do a Christopher Lee Dracula. That is, I must admit, I would like somebody to pick up the Hammer franchise, because they've never really been done. Has anybody done the Hammer films? I don't think so. I would just like to say, by the way, a few years ago now, I've got these busts and things behind me, the life-size ones. I sold a I want to say Vincent Price now, Christopher Lee Dracula bust to somebody in California. I sold it on eBay. They paid me a lot of money for it, and I shipped it out to California. And I can't remember who, but I lost my pictures of it, and it's broken my heart, because if it belongs to you, make a comment on it. Of course, I need Christopher Lee Dracula from Hammer. Love those movies from Terence Fisher, which we can use Peter Cushing's head for Star Wars and make a Helsing Frankenstein. Yeah, that would be good. We could use Tarkin and do a mix-up. Yeah. My favourite thing about Peter Cushing is that he hated wearing the boots. When he was playing Tarkin, he hated wearing the boots. And he said it made his feet hurt. So when he was doing the Charming to the Lost and having Alderaan destroyed, he was wearing carpet slippers. And I remember reading a thing with Carrie Fisher saying she was like, he stood there being all mean and evil in carpet slippers. Yeah. Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. Nightbreed has some unique designs. Strange movie, though. Nightbreed would be a good one. Yeah. I'd like to also see some more from Hellraiser. I had to look around the corner then because you just see them over there. I think Hellraiser would be a good, to do some more of the Cenobites. But yeah, Nightbreed would be good. I'm now excited for a Hammer series of figures. Because what you've got another Dracula in there, another Mummy, another Frankenstein's creature. You've got several Frankenstein's creatures in there because he looked nearly different in every one of the sequels. I always feel that the Hammer ones were the only one that ever they were about Frankenstein, not about the creature. There is one that I watched, and it was on one Saturday afternoon. I'm trying to remember. It was what was the guy's name? It was the one that was in Dear John, the sitcom, and then he was also in Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. He was, yeah. I would like to see. It was the weirdest Frankenstein movie ever because the monster wasn't in it and it hardly in it, and then at the end they just dropped him in a vat of acid and he was, oh well, never mind, and walked away. I was like, really? I've watched that for like 2 hours because it was on one of the digital channels and had adverts. But yeah, very long. Todd Knott, nice to see you in live chat, dude. We defo need an ultimate. Oh, that moved up. Ultimate Elephant Man. John Hurt, Elephant Man. That is a brilliant choice. Give that man a round of applause. Yeah. Sean D, hi bro. There you are. You have such an impressive collection and I enjoy your reviews. God bless. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Steve again, what have you said? Imagine an action figure from Oliver Reed as Werewolf. I would believe it for life if I saw one for sale. I have to admit, that is a really underrated movie. I love the Oliver Reed Werewolf movie. I think it's brilliant. Somebody asked me the other day, my good friend Jordan, if you're watching, Jordan, hi. He asked me what my favourite Hammer film was, and I kind of went with an easy choice, and I should have said Werewolf. I thought a bit later, and I was like, damn, Werewolf. Yeah. So how has your collection been in the heat? I keep my blinds closed and use a motorised trim to keep the moisture out of the room. Okay, so this week we have mostly had predators throwing themselves on the floor. So the other day the front row of predators fell over. Marty McFly went down. He took out Wolfman, black and white and colour. The Star Wars figures behaved. Brett, he's fallen off the shelf twice. Ripley and Newt have gone over once. I moved some stuff around today to make some room, just in case you guys get bored of me talking and you want a room tour. Just so I can get around a bit easier. Rocketeer, he's suddenly started to lean on the back of Indiana Jones because he stood behind Indiana Jones. So Indiana Jones now has a slight lean to him. Yeah, it's been an interesting week for keeping action figures standing up. And I keep getting told it's because of the heat, which it is because of the heat. And not to be angry at them, and it's not their fault, but Peter B. Parker, you fall over one more time, no matter what the temperature is, and you're going in, there is a drawer behind me, it's the naughty box. Any action figures that fall over more than 3 times, you go in the naughty box. And probably don't come out. You check in, but you don't check out. Yeah. But yeah, I'm now excited for Hammer. I'm thinking of all the great films I did. Yeah. I would actually, I know this is going to be controversial. I would like to see NECA do things like, I'd like to see them do a Doctor Who set. Just out of interest, just do a Doctor and a Dalek. Maybe even do Peter Cushing's Doctor. Yeah? So nobody's ever done a figure of that. And I don't know who owns rights and things like that. That's the confusing thing with a lot of this. It's who owns what. Which is your favourite NECA Halloween figure, including Laurie Strode and Dr. Loomis, of course? I have to say, NECA haven't done, for me, a proper Michael yet. Really. They've not done one from the first film. They've done one from the second film twice. They did the mask. Oh, and I've left it downstairs. I've redone, because they did the mask for Billy Tramer, you know, the kid that gets killed by Loomis. They did it. That is the proper Michael Myers mask. So I've cut the sideburns off and painted the hair black. I may alter the hair later on, but that is the nearest I've got to a proper Halloween 1 Michael Myers. I have to say, I think that Dr. Loomis is pretty high up there on my favourites because I've always wanted a good Dr. Loomis. Then it is probably, I do like the 2018, the first of the new films. I do like the Michael from that, I have to say. And the Laurie Strode's pretty cool from that. I like the glasses that they gave her. I think they're really, really good looking glasses. I know I don't collect NECA, but I always try to watch and support your videos if and when I can. Thank you very much, Classic 80s Fanboy. I had to watch some of your videos this morning. I haven't had a lot of time. I've got new jobs and things like that. I'm doing a lot of work and things, and I've had a bit of a busy week, which I may go into later on. But it's been an epic, sad week. I don't know how to put it. Anyway, I'm here to talk happy, so yeah. Very true. They need to make the original Michael from the first film. Yes, Sean D. They haven't. They haven't made a classic one, and that's a shame. I know there's the older figure that they did years ago, but that was when they were doing their iffier sculpts. I want to see a proper Michael Myers. Yeah, because we've got this great Dr. Loomis. I mean, even the Dr. Loomis is from 2 because he's got the lighter with him. I would also like a good Laurie Strode. Strode. How do you say it? Strode or Stroud? I'm terrible with names. What is your Holy Grail figure that you want to see? Right. You see, this is it, because my brain changes. It depends what I'm into at the time, what's in my head. I would like a really, really good Flash Gordon from the movie. I would really like a really good Clytus from that movie. I was really annoyed. I can't remember what the company was. Was it Kapow Toys? And I was disappointed with it because they made the arm articulation wrong. Because that arm never moves, and they articulated that this arm that does move. I don't know if I got that around, but they articulated the wrong arm. See, I'm waving my arms around. Let me think about the Holy Grail one. I'll probably come up with one while I'm doing this video because somebody will mention something. I go, that's the one. Which is the more legendary movie character in your opinion? Quint or Dr. Loomis? Quint or you see, that's a difficult one because they're two very different genres. But if I were to say my favourite, people have said, right, people say I look like Dr. Loomis. A few of you in the videos have said I look like Dr. Loomis. But I do think Quint is a legendary character. And it is one of my favourite figures. And he's really good because he has never fallen over. A lot of those with the clothes on fall over. He hasn't. Yeah. So yeah, I would say probably they're equal. But Quint a little bit more. Just because he sings. Sean D, I really enjoy your reviews on the NECA Halloween 2-pack. I immediately purchased the set after your review. NECA did well in that set. Hoping for a version of the first film someday. Me too. I really hope. I think somebody's just put one of my. Yeah. Dutch's entire squad from Predator was missed opportunity on NECA's part. Definitely, we need some more of those. When I was a kid, I didn't have a Predator figure, but I made my G.I. Joe figures into them and made stories up with those. But Mr. Stephen, as NECA seems to be very into Carpenter, ultimately I would like to see what they would do with properties such as Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York, LA, Vampires. Yes, I would love them to do a really good. I think it's a sideshow Snake Plissken, which is brilliant, and I have the little not character options. What's the little retro ones? I have one of those. But yeah, I would love a good and a Jack Burton would be brilliant. Can I be honest? I sometimes think like Jack Burton when I'm doing these. I know it sounds daft, but when I'm doing videos, I kind of think of how he talks. So yeah, I think anything of Kurt Russell. So a few years back, I was in Epcot in Disney, which is one of the parks, and they do this thing, the candlelight procession thing. It's like a Christmas thing, and they have Whoopi Goldberg and other celebrities presenting it. And I'm stood there one day, and I'm like, "Who is the guy?" Because it's in the dark while the choir's singing, and he's stood in the dark. And then he started talking, and it was Kurt Russell, and I went, "It's Kurt Russell." And these two ladies turned and looked at me with such a scowl on their faces. I was like, "Sorry," but I was so amazed it was Kurt Russell. So I've seen Kurt Russell in real life. Show me Cowboy 2.0. Yes, agreed. I'd love to get Mac and Billy. Yeah, I think, fingers crossed. There must be an anniversary of Predator coming up, and like they did with the Aliens, we got nearly the full crew because of Alien. We got the full crew, but I want them in civvies, so I've got the full civilian set, not just the space set. Bumping Knuckles Head, probably Super 7 retro figure. Yes. And NECA have already nailed it with the Kurt Russell head sculpt. Yes, it's already made it. They just need to put it in a box so I can buy it. Yeah, definitely. I just anything Kurt Russell. Even it's mind blowing to think how long his career has been, and he can look so young doing it. He was in an Elvis movie, kicking Elvis's shins. He was in the second or third episode of Man from U.N.C.L.E. There's a set of figures I'd like. Some Man from U.N.C.L.E. figures in there with the James Bond ones. Yeah, I'd like to see James Bond, Man from U.N.C.L.E. You know, some spy figures. Yeah, and they're easy to do because it's just guys in suits, so they can reuse the. Yeah, because we know they like to reuse bits. They can reuse the suits. Sean D, what is the scariest movie you have ever seen? Mine is Fire in the Sky, very creepy film. Yes, that is that's really hard to find, but that's UFOs and stuff, and that is really. I tell you what, I did watch once many years ago, and if you know what it is, tell me on it, because I've looked for it for years. It was probably before like things like Blair Witch happened, but it was a lost videotape thing with some people staying in a house in the woods, and a UFO came and took them all away, and it was done as like a found footage thing, and it was on TV, and it was freaking scary. And I was staying. I was in Florida. I'll mention Florida a lot through this video. You'll notice. I was staying in Florida. Yeah, and it scared the out of me, and I had a big window at the side of me, and I was laid there all night going, "I'm going to see aliens." So if anybody knows what that was, put it in the comments. I think when I was younger, I remember watching like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which isn't one of my favourite horror films, but it scared the living jeebus out of me. The bit where she's with the family was just really, really creepy. Yeah. I have to agree, classic 80s fanboy. Kurt Russell was up for Han Solo. I think he would have, I hate to say this, I wish he'd had been Han Solo. I know controversy, but I think we would have had more Star Wars films or more Han Solo if it had been Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is such a great actor. Fun fact, he was born in Springfield, Massachusetts, the very town directly south of me. Wow, okay. So you're in America then. Wow. This is, I have viewers that, the last time I did this, which was the last time I did a live, it was a Wednesday morning, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just see how the camera works. I'll only be on for 5 minutes. An hour and 45 minutes later, I finally got away from it. I was like, wow. Hey, Rocketman, did you ever repaint the nano gauntlet rubber glove you bought? I kind of had a go at it. I will show it one day. I don't know where it is at the minute. I moved a lot of stuff around. I get a lot of stuff through here, and stuff gets moved around, and I was tidying up a little bit here today just in case, anybody sees the backdrop, and I will find it. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, yes, Sean, Texas Chainsaw is quite disturbing. I'm going to think about that while we're doing this, so keep watching. I'll come up with horror films. Yeah, Kurt Russell, Harrison Ford. I think if you were to say to me who is a better actor than Kurt Russell, because you look at Kurt Russell from, I hope I'm getting his right, Jack Burton to Snake Plissken are two very different characters. Fantastic characters, but two very different people. He was even Elvis, which I'm going to watch that, because I watched the other Elvis the other day, the new one, and I thought it was fantastic. Thought it was brilliant. Sean D, yes, American Us Here. Yep, fantastic. I can't watch American Werewolf in London, the scene where he changes. I just can't watch. And the John Hurt scene in Alien. I have to admit, my dad sat me down when I was little and said, watch this and play with the chestbuster scene, and scared the living jeevers out of me. And I think that's why I love the film so much. I remember saying, oh, and it was scary and that, but yeah. And I remember watching, my parents had gone on holiday and left me home alone for the first time ever. And I watched American Werewolf in London, thinking I was about 18. But it was the first time I've been home alone. And I just gave myself the Wiggins. And I remember going to bed thinking, oh, the werewolf don't come and get me. And it was like 1 a.m, because it was the late, you know, in the show film late at night like that. And I was like, oh, the werewolf don't come and get me. And yeah, I think I left the light on. Yeah. Sean D, fun fact 2. Number 2, #2. Kurt Russell was a civilian pilot that reported the Phoenix Lights in 97. Really? Well, there's a go there one for you. Cool. Kurt Russell really is a legend. I am a big fan of Kurt Russell. It's one of those things when you think, I didn't realise how much of a fan of Kurt Russell I was. Have you ever done that? Have you ever sat and looked at like a DVD collection? I know not all of us don't have DVDs anymore. If you look at a DVD collection, go through it and work out which actor you have the most films of. Kurt Russell's probably high on my list. Yeah. What are my top 3 Sylvester Stallone films? I do like Demolition Man. That is one of my favourites. And I would like some action figures from Demolition Man. Cobra. I didn't watch Cobra for years. And then I kind of picked up the box set. It was on the shelf in the lockdown. When I was stuck home alone, I went through like the box set. I thought, oh, I've watched them, and I really enjoyed them. I'm trying to think of Stallone films now. I do like the Expendables. Some of those are quite good. I don't know whether they're quite Stallone films though. I'm trying to think of Stallone. What's your favourite three Stallone films? What's the one where he arms wrestles? That one's quite good. What's the one where he sings? Isn't the one that he did with Dolly Parton? I swear he did one with Dolly Parton where he sings. I've got it somewhere on a hard drive to watch. Somebody gave me it years ago. It's like, I've ripped this. Watch it. Yeah. Oh, that moved up. Yes, I remember seeing an interview with Kurt Russell about it. That I think his son was flying with him as well. Yeah. Correct him under Sean. Oliver is his name. Yes. Give me a 6-inch Dread Stallone. Oh, Dread. Right. So I would love a figure of the Stallone Dread, and I would also like the Carl Urban Dread as well. I love both films, but for different reasons. The original Stallone film isn't the best representation of the character, but the city and the world that they created is fantastic. The Carl Urban is a better version of the character. That is a perfect Dread, but the world is a little bit, because it's basically filmed in South Africa, and the taxis. There's some vehicles at the beginning which are Volkswagen camper van things, and they're taxis that they use over there. So it's not quite future tech as much as I would like, but I still love the film. So I would like both Dreads. I would like to see Carl Urban's in Dread in the other film as well. Does that make sense? Yeah. I think it's moved up. There we go. That's awesome. The wife and I recently watched Demolition Man. Haven't seen it in a while. Wesley as Simon. Wesley is brilliant. I think that's why I like that film so much, because all the characters in it are brilliant. Because Simon Phoenix is brilliant. What's Stallone's character called? That's embarrassing. Stallone's character is great. It's got such great characters, and it's also got a Lethal Weapon poster in the background, which is brilliant. I watched Lethal Weapon 2 last night. I felt an 80s mood, so there's another set of figures I'd like. Lethal Weapon. There you go. What franchise would you like to see NECA make figures from? Mine would be Big Trouble in Little China, Tales from the Crypt, and Critters. Definitely Big Trouble in Little China. Tales from the Crypt, yes. I'd like a good crypt keeper. What are the voices I do? Tales from the Crypt and Critters, yeah. Well, you could maybe do those in life size, because they are kind of small. About that big. Critters, yeah. So they could do life size ones of those. My top 3. Oh, yeah. That moved up a bit. No, I can't use that one. I keep nearly touching the screen up there. Let's see if I can move it down. Yeah, 90s Dread, Mega City 1 is perfect, but Baines killed it as Dread. Yep. My top 3 films, Sean D, would have to be Rocky, First Blood. Oh, I forgot First Blood. And Judge Dredd. Tough choice, though. I still haven't seen Tango and Cash. Tango and Cash it's a fantastic film. It's really weird because it apparently had 2 directors that nearly got to the end of it, and then somebody else came in, and I watched a video on this thing called YouTube the other day. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but yeah, and it was really, really interesting. Higher Toys Dread, bro. Okay, especially the motorcycle version. Yeah, I just want Dread figures. It would be great. Also, okay, here's one for my holy grails. Rogue Trooper, another 2000 AD character. Yeah, Google it if you don't know who he is. He's fantastic. He will make a great figure. You could, yeah. 5-inch Big Trouble in China figures, definitely. I really would love the comic book Dread in 6-inch, as NECA is doing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles heads that I got the property. But I never had one action figure from them, so I can't talk about it. Higher are great. I bought some of the Predators. I think I did review them on here, but I was really disappointed because I didn't read the scale, and they were about that big, and I was like, which for what I paid for them, I was really disappointed, because I was like, they were like 20 odd quid, and I was like, that's not 20 quid with the figure, but yeah. Riggs and Murtaugh, definitely. John Spartan, there you go. I knew it was something like that. It's hiding. Oh, Cairo boy, you got your message hidden because you put the piece of in there. John Spartan is Demolition Man. Yes. Riggs and Murtaugh, definitely. Definitely Riggs and Murtaugh. Which film, though? First film, second film, or is this... Because the figures will get a little bigger as they go on. Actually, I was watching Lethal Weapon 2 last night, and I was like, where's Riggs's? I'm watching it in 4K now. Well, I haven't got 4K, but the TV's 4K. And I was watching it like, I remember him having more hair. But, yeah, Riggs and Murtaugh. Sean D, wife and I also watched the Lethal Weapon films. I forgot how amazing that fight scene with Glover and Gibson against Jet Li. Yeah, actually, do you know that's the 4th one, isn't it? It's a great film. It just doesn't seem to get as much. There are little bits of it, like the bit on the boat near the beginning, where I'm always a little bit like, oh, yeah, you could skip through that bit. But the fight scenes in it are great, I have to admit. Get a piece off my lawn. I watched some other guys, that thing with 2 heads on here, and they do an item called Get Off My Lawn. That's the Clint Eastwood thing. I would like a Dirty Harry. That'd be a good one. Dirty Harry. Yeah, Dirty Harry figure. What do you prefer, the Die Hard films or Lethal Weapon films? I got to go with Lethal Weapon. Actually, you see, that's a difficult one, because the Lethal Weapon films are all I don't mean they're all the same film, but they've got the same premise. Die Hard, I know it's Die Hard in a building, Die Hard in an airport, Die Hard in but they were written as 4 different scripts. The first one is from a book called Nothing Lasts Forever. I think it's by Roderick Thorpe. And Frank Sinatra had to be asked permission because he played the lead character. Joe Leyland was the original name of the character in it. Here I'm coming out with the useless facts. Joe Leyland was the original character in it who'd been in another film, and because he played it in another film, they had to then ask his permission to let the character be, and Frank Sinatra said, I'm not playing it because I'm too old. So they changed all the names and everything and made it into Die Hard. The second film is one called something 45 Seconds, something like that. The third one was a movie script called Simon Says. So they are slightly different ideas. But I would go with Lethal Weapon, probably. I think I watched Lethal Weapon more. Die Hard was really important to me at a certain time, the first one. I loved it to death and I watched it as often as I could, but maybe I overwatched it. You know, sometimes you get a film like that and you think, I know I can, like Star Wars, I can quote it. I can pretty much, the dialogue go on with it. So, yeah. Smiley faces. Todd, not have you seen Anthony Hopkins' Magic? And if yes, what do you think of it? Would be great to see Necker do. Yeah, that would be a cool one. Who was it? I read the other day that somebody made a load of people sit and watch it, and I can't remember who it was now. Somebody was doing something and they made everybody sit and watch it. I remember. Okay, I watched it when I was a teenager, and it feels very. We had a thing in England called Tales of the Unexpected. It feels very Twilight Zone, which I'm not dissing it, but it feels more like a Tales from the Crypt kind of story made into a feature film. So, but I do enjoy it. I would like to see some figures of that, yeah. Sorry, it's not too rude. It was a Murdoch quote. I know. Getting too old for this. So sad to see the deterioration of Jet Li. Yeah, I was amazed by that. The certain pictures of him, I was like, who is it? And I was like, it's Jet Li. And I was like, really? Yeah. It's a shame. But then we all get older. It's a sad thing. I just got a Hasbro McCree as its closest I'll get to a Clint Eastwood figure. Yeah, I suppose it is. The fight scene with Mel and Gary Busey. Gary Busey is a legend. I would like a figure of Gary Busey in anything. Point Break. We could have a Keanu Reeves. Dudes. You know, totally dude. Yeah. All hail the Busey. Definitely. Necker Dirty Harry figures. It'd be, yeah, that'd be a great one. Busey was awesome, just Point Break. Yep. And as Peter Keyes in Predator 2. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. I once read a really interesting interview with him, and he was really crazy. Really, really crazy. It was really interesting. Really interesting. Let's just see if... I can't get that. I've opted out. There we go. I've opted out of my own video there. Mr. Sean, I can't read your message and I can't get it to come up. Roman, yes, Jeremy Irons says Simon was great in Die Hard 2. Yes. There's a lot of bad guy Simons. Cairo Boyer, he was also great as Uncle. Yeah. The Silver Bullet Werewolf. Gary Busey was in Silver Bullet, wasn't he? Was it Gary Busey? Die Hard 3 is excellent. Die Hard 4, yeah. I've heard rumour. I mean, it's just a rumour, but I've heard rumour that there's a 5. They made 5 of them. They did. I watched it once. It's on the shelf. It makes a really good coaster. Yeah, that and Crystal Skull. Uncle Red in Silver Bullet. Yeah, there you go. Die Hard 3 there. Silver Bullet Werewolf Necker. Would be great figure. Johnny Utah, that's it. I'm terrible with names. You know when you know things. I always think I would be really good at pub quizzes, and I used to go with people to pub quizzes and things like that. And I went to one once, and I didn't know anybody there. And one of the questions was, is it James Blunt? What was his job before he became a singer? And they were all looking confused, and I went, Tank Commander. And they all looked at me like I was crazy, but because nobody had another answer, they just wrote Tank Commander. And we were the only table that got the question right. So, Google it. He was a Tank Commander. I hope I got his name right. I think we're all kids of the 80s in here tonight, definitely. I've been having a bit of an 80s week this week. I've been kind of watching my 80s movies. Nothing beats the 80s. Indy 5. Oh well. If you think Crystal Skull is bad, wait for the new one. Yes, classic 80s. Boy, you've got to hit that one right on the head. James Blunt stopped World War III, in fact. Yes, he did. He stopped World War III. And not by singing. You may think he would have stopped it by singing, but no. He stopped it, doing something with the tank. And he made them stop. Yeah. Hot Toys will be soon releasing Dirty Harry 1-6 figure. Looks awesome. Guessing they will continue Clint Eastwood. Hopefully, he definitely deserves it. Having had some long movie career. Yeah. I would like to see, let's see, the spaghetti westerns, Man with No Name, which is weird because he has names in all of them. Dirty Harry. I'm trying to think what else. Right Turn Clyde. But that's just Clint Eastwood, isn't it, really? But yeah. You're beautiful. No more nukes. Yeah. You can imagine him singing it. There is a man outside singing something about you are beautiful. Mushroom clouds go up. Because of James Blunt singing. Yeah. He seems like a really fun guy. I saw some interviews with him and he seemed really, really crazy and fun, and he didn't take himself at all seriously. At all. Yeah. Who else have we got? I'm trying to think. I would like some good Indiana Jones figure. Brutally, yeah, hilarious. Thank you. The one where he has an orangutan as a friend. The movie is cool. It's Every Which Way But Loose and Every Which Way You Can. 2 films. Yeah. I would also. I know it would be difficult because it's more about the car. I would like a Smoky and the Bandit set. As a kid, I always wanted the like Smoky and the Bandit. Philo Bedo, I think Any Which Way movies. Yes, Philo Bedo. Yes. Warner Brothers just dropped Clint Eastwood recently. They're lost. Yeah, Warner Brothers. They're dropping everybody. I got a letter from them the other day saying that they've dropped my channel, and I was like, you don't own my channel. But anyway, it's really weird. They're cancelling things, except for the one thing that they really, really, really need to cancel. It's just going to be a flash in the pan. Thank you. I'm here all week. Don't forget Tippy Wedges. Which are your favourite X-Men villains? I probably think Batman and Seaman have such great villains. Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's certain heroes. Can I imagine who's going to move? Yes. Yeah. X-Men villains, because it's always Magneto, isn't it? And I don't really get any other villains other than Magneto. What's the guys that are all the robot guys? You know, it's so long since I've read any X-Men comics. I've got a filing cabinet full of like 80s X-Men comics and other things. Right. But what did we all think of Prey, by the way? You spell it right up there. I put a thing in the and it predictively texted it from me and changed it to Prey, not Prey. So I have watched Prey twice now. So it is definitely a good. I was trying to watch it yesterday while I was sorting some stuff out on the laptop, and I realised it's something you've really got to watch it. Juggernaut, Magneto, and Sabretooth were great. Yes, Juggernaut figure would be nice. Sentinels, we do need some Sentinels. Yeah. Yeah. I'd forgotten about Juggernaut, because that's Charles Xavier's brother in some version of it. Not to see that movie. So need to see that movie. Yes, Prey is fantastic. I don't know if it's going to get released anywhere else other than on Disney Plus. It's a great reason to get Disney Plus. I think Disney Plus, not sponsored, but I think Disney Plus is great. I really like merger on the alternative reality show kind of battle royal dynamics. Was always very interesting to me. Yeah. I enjoyed Prey. Thank you, Sean D. Sentinels from Day of Future Past were pretty scary. Yeah. I know I have the old Sentinel figure. I'm trying to remember who made it. Toy Biz? I have the old Toy Biz one. And that and Galactus. I had a friend that was getting rid of his action figures, and I kind of took those two. I own 2 of the Marvel Select Juggernaut figures. It's actually my favourite figure I own. Yeah. I'm trying to sort of... You know when you're buying figures and you're buying every figure? The Marvel Select, I'm trying to pick a theme for the Marvel Select figures, because they're making far too many, they're getting more expensive, and they're not quite as cool as they used to be. I'm just turning my fan up. Sorry about the hair, it looks like I'm in a Bonnie Tyler video, but anyway. So I'm trying to decide which... I'm always going to buy the Iron Man figures, because I don't know if you guys know, but I really like Iron Man. I watched the previous live. I showed that shelf a lot. But yeah, my Marvel Legends, I've kind of gone off the movie versions. I'm thinking more towards comic book versions, because they're the ones that I kind of like more. But it's just picking which ones I'm going to stay with. I've just seen the new zombie Iron Man that they're doing. That's going to have to be on my list. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at those. I'm kind of worried because the feed there stopped doing anything. Nobody's made a comment for at least 30 seconds, which is slightly worrying. They're all listening to me talking. Oh, there we go. Classic fanboy. Whew. We were unlucky in the 80s. We didn't get much of the American toy market. We had Action Force, not G.I. Joe, and had Palatoy Star Wars, but missed out on a lot of the kind of stuff in the UK. Yeah. We some of our Star Wars figures were slightly better because we didn't have silly noise-making things in them, like the X-Wing had a thing in it, which ours didn't. I love Action Force. That was one of my big toys as a kid. I had the cab. It was like a Death Star thing. It was like a play set, and it was made of cardboard. And I got that one Christmas, and I loved it to bits. I've still got it somewhere. If you guys want to see a lot of my old retro collection, let me know, because I've got a lot of it. Which is my favourite Iron Man figure? That's like asking somebody who the favourite child is. I just love Iron Man. I love them all. I couldn't honestly pick a favourite. It really depends on what day it is. I have to say, if you were to say to me who makes the best ones, ZD Toys. The ZD Toy ones just are fantastic. They are breathtaking. I did get I'll tell you which one I did like. I liked the classic, and I've got like 3 versions of it, because I've got the one that's painted the metallic colours, the old comic book version. I've got that, and then they recently redid it with the Tony Stark head. That I would say is the classic look Iron Man one to me. That's probably my favourite. Definitely a great figure. Yep. Which is your favourite? I've done that one. Mark 47. Yep. Cara Boy. Yep. Have you got any Hot Toy Iron Man? I have. I've got the one from the... I am lousy at remembering marks. So it's the one from the Avengers. I've got one from the first film. I've got Mark 1. I know it's Mark 1. And the Mark 3, I think it is, from the first film. I've also got Tony Stark with his lab set from the third film. I'm looking at the cabinet over there, but not all of them in there. I've also got War Machine. So if anybody wants to see any of those, I can do videos of those. I'm trying to find these. It's really quiet at the moment for me to buy action figures. I'm having a lot of trouble finding any. I'm also... I hope my mum's not watching this. A little broke at the moment. I've had a lot of bills lately. Car tax, car insurance, car... everything. So, I have the Action Force HQ. A lot of Action Force is rare. Your HQ is one of them. Excellent. I must admit, and I have the box as well, and I also have the little plastic tube that goes inside it that I used to let the little pilot guy slide down. You'll know what that means if you've got it. And I think all the flaps and everything is still intact. He got it for grand price, and I nick a super shredder also for 20. Wow, okay. Yeah. So not back when you were a young lad, which cartoons were your very favourites? Okay. Yeah, Batman the Animated Series was. Though I was a little old. If we're talking about when I was a little kid, G-Force, Battle of the Planets was one of my favourites. Which, watching it now, I do kind of watch it now and go, I was easily pleased. I also like Godzilla, the Up From the Depths, 30 Stories High, that one. I did like the Marvel ones, where it was like the comic books but animated. I really liked those. They were fun. Yeah. Me. Can I answer this? Go on then. Go on, Cairo Boy. Cryo Boy. I think it's Cairo Boy. Cryo Boy 2.0. Spiderman is made. Oh, Spiderman and his amazing friends. Duh. Yeah. I've got the figures from that. I just still need a Spidey that looks right. I did get the He-Man, Thundercats, Ghostbusters, Mask Crusaders, Mystery Series, Cities of Gold, Three Musker Hounds, and the Raccoons. All of those. Yeah, He-Man was a big one. Thundercats, Ghostbusters. I loved Ghostbusters because it was Ghostbusters. And I was so glad that they changed it because it wasn't quite the movie version, but it was good enough. They didn't alter it. Mask was brilliant. I have some of the action figures and toys. I wish I'd collected more of them. Mysterious City of Gold, never saw the end of it. They showed it like 3 times on the good old BBC, and I never got to see the ready end of it. Three Musker Hounds, also never got to see the end of that. And Raccoons was brilliant. I'm trying to think of the Raccoons theme. It's in my head, but I can't sing it. Danger Mouse, Powerhouse. He's a man in the world. Danger Mouse was brilliant. I want action figures of Danger Mouse. There you go. I think they made some recently for the new version, but I would love some of those. Are you planning on getting any of the new E.T. figures? I pre-ordered E.T. with Elliot and the bicycle figure. I will probably get some of the E.T.s, yeah. I may not get all of them, but I think I will pick up some. E.T. is one of those films, you know, like E.T. was the film that ruined the releases of The Thing, Blade Runner, and there's a few other films that came out that year. And they didn't take any money because there was this little film called E.T. And I would think now that E.T. probably isn't as big a film as the other one. But Danger Mouse, Count Duckula, Trapdoor. I had a trapdoor. My mum knit me a trapdoor cardigan. Centurions, of course, because I've got some of them. Visionaries, I was never that into. I've got some of the figures. I had, I think, 2 of them when I was a kid, but I never got to see the... And Dungeons & Dragons. There's a set of figures. There's a Holy Grail set of figures. Dungeons & Dragons. And I mean the cartoon version. Those original figures would be fantastic. Concept 2 creators, Danger Mouse statues. They were great. I have the whole set. Brilliant. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that we don't... It's really hard to... I don't mean it's hard to find, but it's hard to see. Is that a better way of putting it? It's hard to see it anyway. You can search around the internet forever and then it's like, oh, I did not know that was out. It's E.T.'s 40th anniversary. Holy crap. So when I was a kid, my dad used to bring me knockoff pirated videos from one of his mates at work, and he used to bring me E.T. a lot, and I'd be like, yeah, great, can we have something else other than E.T.? But yeah, I had a version of Return of the Jedi with bits missing, which it was like, back in those days, they didn't show stuff for years on TV, and we didn't have video, like, to buy, or if you did, I think one of the first video cassettes we bought was Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it cost like 80 quid. It was really expensive, and we still have it somewhere. Fingers crossed, it's worth a lot of money now. Yeah, but 40 years of E.T. 40 years and they've never made a sequel. Yeah. It's kind of weird that you forget. I'm having a big birthday this year. I went to see all of the movies when I was just 4. When E.T. looked like he was dying, I turned to my dad and said, "He's not really dead." And the whole of the cinema went, "Ah," because he wasn't really dead. I know a guy that's where he got upset, but he got upset because the thing was living. But he's yeah. I hope he doesn't watch this. I won't watch it. E.T. is great in 4K. Oh, okay. I might have a look for that. Because you see, E.T.'s got Yoda in it. And vice versa, because the E.T. creatures... Does E.T. have a species name? Is there a species name for E.T.? I don't know. But the E.T. creature is in Phantom Menace. Yeah. I remember sitting in the cinema watching Phantom Menace, and that was the most exciting part of it. E.T. was first movie I saw at the cinema. I was 3 or 4. Okay, so the first film, I think I saw Lady and the Tramp. Okay, the story my mum would tell you is we went to see Lady and the Tramp and The Bears and I, which had John Wayne's son in it. And I enjoyed Lady and the Tramp, and then I cried all the way through The Bears and I, so we had to leave. And yeah, she's never forgiven me. It's on Disney Plus, is The Bears and I. It's great. What was the first? What's the average first film that you guys remember seeing? The first film I actually remember 100% going to see. I mean, I know people have told me I went to see films, but the first one I remember would be Star Wars. I was 5. I remember going to see Star Wars. I remember going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. I remember going to see Flash Gordon. Yeah, I remember going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark, and in the interval, because we had intervals back in those days, and we got an ice cream. Who knew E.T. voted the dead? Yeah. No, I want Reese's Pieces. We don't get Reese's Pieces in England. It's so sad. Yes, E.T.'s race was in Phantom Menace. See, nobody knows what E.T. is. He's just an E.T. You can't call him an E.T. because that's not... I was 9 when I went to see Star Wars. It makes me feel old. Wow, you were mature, so you're a little maturer than the rest of us. I remember seeing Empire Strikes Back. I was 5 and my mother was giving birth to my brother in hospital. Okay. It's amazing how we all have memories for films. Yeah. I'm thinking of some memories now, and it's kind of sad with what's happened this week. But anyway, yeah. I had E.T. and Flash Gordon movie wallpaper. Wow. I had Action Man wallpaper when I was very little, but I kind of remember it. But then we moved out of that house and left the wallpaper behind. And then I got Mr. Man wallpaper. Mr. Man wallpaper. I wonder if it's still underneath the wallpaper that's up there now. I'll have to try and peel it off and have a look. I must be the oldest on here. Do you know what? Where I work, I am, other than the 2 people that own one of the jobs I do, I have jobs that I do that are my work, and I have another job that I do for other people. And I'm the eldest member of staff, except for the 2 people that own it. So, hi to them if they watch. I had Superman wallpaper. Do you know, I might have had some. I don't think I had Superman wallpaper, but I think I have some Superman wallpaper. Superman was another one of those big films from my childhood. I remember going to see it. I remember going to see Superman 2, and there was 2 ladies knitting. And we moved. There was 2 women that were talking all the way through it, and then there was 2 that were knitting, so we kept moving around. 2 movies I remember, Sean D, 2 movies I remember seeing in the theatre as a kid was Jurassic Park and actually Under Siege. My dad took me and my brother, and I got many R-rated films. Under Siege came out in 92. That's the weird thing, right? Because they're very different with what. Here in the UK, we have a very strict system, and if you're not old enough, you will not get in. But in other countries, in America particularly, people get to go in like babies. You can take babies in to see R-rated movies. It's really weird. It's up to the parents to say, no, you can't go in and see it. What's the best cinema experience you guys have had? Mine was Man of Steel. It was truly epic. Wow, okay. I'll have to think about that. So I saw Steven Seagal stab Tommy Lee Jones in the head with a knife at just 6 years old. Thanks, Dad. The good old times, the 80s and 90s are times that really need to be appreciated. From yeah, I think we did have some great films. We did have a really great time back then. Kane, you're only as old as you feel. If you're only as old as you feel, I must be really old because I'm feeling it today. I'm glad that you guys get on so well. There's like a little group of you that chat on here, and it's brilliant. Yeah, and you've even started doing it in just the regular comments underneath, and it's brilliant. Yeah. Remember, it was The Dark Knight Rises. Please don't judge, fellas, but I saw it 8 times in theatres. I just loved it so much. My best mate Jordan, he goes to see films like 1,000 times. He what was it? Which one was it? Was that one of the Batmans? I can't remember now, but he went to see one film and he must have gone to see it like 30 or 40 times. He'd be like, you know what, did you go see anything this week? Have you watched anything this week? I watched it again. And I can't remember which one it was. He'll remember because he went to see it that many times. KCF and Ryback. Where's Eric tonight? I remember him from last stream. Yeah, he's not on here today. I don't know. I thought he was going to be here. He said he was going to be here. And he's forgotten. I'm 43, but I only feel like I'm just 20. Although I can't move like I'm 21. Right, so big birthday this year. Have a guess how old I am. Go on, you guys have a guess how old I am. But your guess is on there. I won't be upset. Much. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yes, you. Cryo boy. Cryo boy. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Rocketman, for going live. Oh, it's a pleasure. This is kind of fun for me. 40, 45, 50. Yeah, somebody's cheating. Somebody, I've probably mentioned it before. 46. Okay. Oh, you guys can visit more often. Yeah. 35. Oh, you smooth. Sean D, you're smooth. 35, I wish. It's not the years, it's the mileage. No. Okay, everybody, I guess everybody's had their guess that's going to have a guess there. So yeah, I'm 50 this year. Yeah. I know, I don't look it. I know I don't look it. What do you mean I look it? Hurt my feelings. Yeah. No, big 50 this year, so it is kind of, you're only 3 years older than me. Yeah. There you go. It's hilarious because my mum keeps telling me about celebrities and people on things, and she goes, and he's younger than you, and look how old he looks. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Mum. Thanks, Mum. I don't need to know that I look that old. Sorry, if I keep fiddling down here. It's so warm, and I can't have the window open because it gets really noisy. The main thing is we are still fun, LOL, and not boring old people. Definitely. Damn, looking good for 50. Thank you. Again, cryo boy, you smooth criminal. No, it's really kind of weird because I don't feel big 50, big birthday, coming up. Yeah. I had all sorts of plans for it, but I don't know. And 44 on my face looks like it needs ironed. Yeah. You can't see it, but I've got a bulldog clip in the back of my neck holding my face back. Let go of it, it all just sags. Yeah. This is fun, isn't it, guys? Come on. You got to admit. We're not really talking about anything sensible. We're just sitting here talking. Me and my mate on a Saturday, we usually hang out together on a Saturday where I work. And we just talk rubbish all day. And this is kind of like that. And one day I'm going to get him to come and join me in one of these because he is fun. I'm 44 on my face. I've not read that one. I have more worry lines than Gandalf did. Right. You shall not pass the age limit. Yeah. I got really happy the other day because I was in a shop and somebody asked me for ID, and I wasn't even buying beer or anything. I forget what I think it was a DVD or something. I was buying something and they went, "Have you got any ID?" And I was like, so I've got this thing now. I wear a baseball hat a lot because I don't know if you noticed I'm bald, and if it's cold, it goes blue, and if it's sunny, it goes pink. So I kind of it's not vanity. It's just that I'd like to keep my head warm, or cold. And if anybody ever asks me for ID, I just take my hat off and go, "Oh yeah, you're old enough." The best times I just spent sitting around bouncing off each other. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, that's what me and my mate do. Jordan, he's going to have to join us one day on one of these because he is he's funny. He's a really good mate of mine. Yeah, he's my best mate, and he supplies me with the action figures that I sometimes review as well. A lot of the Transformers figures are his. So yeah, I should have told him I was doing this. He would have probably come and had to watch. This is how Saturday night should be. Good answer. I imagined it to Canada back in 2019. Actually, I never made my own friends here. I've always been the type to tend to myself. It's great to be here chatting with you gentlemen. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Sean. It really is. It's fantastic. It's nice to think that, like, I'm sitting here, it's dark outside. What time is it here? It is it's 9:15. So I'm just laughing because my phone has got, I don't know if you can see that. My phone's got my live, where's the camera? Anyway, it's got my live thing on it, which is me pulling the face what I just did. I forgot that you don't see it. Yeah. This is it. It's like I say, it's 9:15 here in the UK, and there's people out there in Canada. I don't know what time it is in Canada. Probably 5 hours. 5 hours. Well, depends which. You see, you forget Canada goes all the way across top of America, so it could be depends which part of Canada you're in. But Sean D, you are now part of the team. Yeah. So you part of the team. Yeah. You're one of my Rocketeers. Ha ha. I once thought about being a comedian, but just didn't have the bottle for it. I have this crazy all over the place sense of humour to do, so if you don't laugh, you will cry. Exactly. Do you know what? That is my problem. I spend a lot of time. People will say things to me, and you know when you want to do a joke back and you go, I think no, because that's not probably going to get a laugh. They're going to look at me and be insulted. When I was a kid at school, I got bullied, and a lot. And I learned that the best way to get out of being bullied is to make them laugh. So I learned to be humorous. So I've also always been a salesman my entire life. So I sell things. So this is kind of just that, only to people all over the world. It blows my mind. Like I say, I'm just sitting here in my room talking to my tablet, looking at myself in the it's really weird because all I'm looking at is me. It's weird. I'm here too, sitting in my man cave surrounded by toys in Devon. Also in my man cave in Scotland. Southend-on-Sea, okay. You see, this is mind-blowing for me. I'm in sunny Leeds, which is, it's dark actually, but yeah. It's an interesting place to live. It's really warm in here. I'd love to open the window, but then you'll hear all the cars going past outside. Yeah, it is kind of, there is a lot of us out there. There is a lot of us geeks. I once said that to somebody. I don't know, do you mind being called geeks? Do you think of yourself as geeks? I was once at a thing and somebody, I said about being a geek and they were like, oh, are you proud of that? And I was like, yeah, because I can't even know the word for it. Yeah. There's no comedy that could ever insult me. I get that from my dad. Nothing is out of bounds with me and my family. Definitely. Trust me. I have done some stuff that I cannot. I'm thinking of events and things that I've said. Todd, not Frankie Boyle. Yeah. I am thinking of things that I've said in the past where I've gone sorry right after it. I always wanted to visit the UK, GB. Definitely hope someday. It's an interesting place. Doesn't rain all the time like you see in the movies. And it's not foggy all the time. And not everywhere is London. I don't care. I'm an ex-Royal Marine, so no one insults me and gets away with it. Definitely. Big salute to our men in the forces. Yeah. Ooh, I hate the Frankie Boyle. He's a knob. Okay, it let you do that one, but he blanked out the word and it hid his Boyle. Yeah. But that's somehow some comedians work. They just work on the thing of being so rude that you'll kind of go, wow, how rude was that? So yeah, I watch, I'm trying to think of the name now. Two guys, thing with two heads. They do things like this. So that they kind of gave me the inspiration for this. And one of them is the guy that did Chris Nelson. It's Sean and Christopher. He seems to like being Christopher Nelson. Nobody spelled with a K. Yeah, I wasn't going to point that out. I'm dyslexic and I knew that. I'm more of a Lee Evans fan. Lee Evans is great, but can you imagine him at the minute? He must be just standing like a little bucket. Because have you ever watched it? He's just sweats. So in warm weather like this, he must be just like permanently just like somebody's got a hose pipe on the top of his head. Yeah, I like Chris Evans. I'm trying to think. He was in what's the thing with the mouse? He was great in that, and he's also in Fifth Element. Yeah, which is another great film. That's another. We were talking about action figures, weren't we? There's another great set of action figures we could have. Fifth Element. Multipath. Yeah. Who is better martial artist, Scott Adkins or Jason Statham? Jason Statham is pretty good, but he was an Olympic diver, and he had hair when he was doing that. But yeah, Jason Statham, Olympic diver. Their fight scenes were great in the Expendables 2. I must admit, yeah. Expendables 2, I need to watch that again. I haven't watched that in ages. There is going to be an Expendables. It is 4, isn't it? There is a 4th one because there was the 3rd one had Mel Gibson in it. Could be Batman. Yeah, that's a good answer. Mousetrap, that was it. Not to correct him, you're knob to knob. Oh yeah. Like I said, I did Prey the other day and it changed from Prey to Prey. Alrighty then. We're laughing with you, not at you, trust me. Yeah, Fifth Element is a great film and looks fantastic in 4K. I have it in 4K and it looks brilliant. It really does. The colours. What was the other one he did? Valeri? It's got a longer title, hasn't it? But Valerian. With the girl that's now in Murderers in the Building. Anyway. There's 7 of us in the room, by the way. Can we get it to 10? If you've got any friends out there that you might think enjoy this, let them know we're here. Expendable 2 is my favourite because of Van Damme and Chuck Norris. Prince Valerie, yes, that's the comic book version, and then they made it into a movie, didn't they? Yeah. Interesting fact for you. Okay, so if ever you watch Matt Helm, Dean Martin films. He did a set of films which you guys should remember it because we're all of an age. Where he's a what's the word I'm looking for? Spy, secret agent. And in the last one they did, which the name of it, I think it's Wrecking Crew, there is a fight scene, and one of the people in the fight scene is Chuck Norris. It's in a martial arts fight scene in a Chinese restaurant thing. And one of them is Chuck Norris without a beard. And I was watching it, I was like, that's Chuck Norris! So, yeah. Google it. Trust me, you'll find it. My 2 favourite Bruce Willis films are Unbreakable and The Fifth Element. How about yours? Ooh, Bruce Willis films. Die Hard is a great one. I'm trying to think, what's the one that he did, which is the remake? It's like a redoing of the A Fistful of Dollars gangster film where he goes into a town and I can't remember what that one is. Oh, I tell you what, my favourite Bruce Willis film, other than Fifth Element, Hudson Hawk. Brilliant film. Terrible film, but a brilliant film. You know, one of those films that knows it's bad and just winks at you all the way through and goes, look how bad we are. I love Hudson Hawk. Bruce is still waiting for his Hooper. I can order at the minute, they've just put it up, Hooper in his aquatic gear. So I'm borderline on getting that one. They put a few up today that I could order, and I was like, oh, I don't know which one. So I went with one. Oh, Last Boy Scout. Hang on, take my glasses off. Oh, Last Boy Scout, which is again, okay, it's useless fact 443 and 79. Last Boy Scout was written by the same guy that Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon, who also is the radio operator guy that tells the bad jokes in Predator. There you go. That's my useless fact for today. Chuck Norris jokes incoming, definitely. I love Hudson Hawk. Great film. It is. Hudson Hawk is a brilliant film. Unbreakable is good. My problem with Unbreakable, I like this because it's a trilogy, isn't it? I like the second film. The third film, I haven't watched it yet, but everybody told me it was bad. A King Cobra, but Chuck Norris, after 5 days of pain, the Cobra died. Yep, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean D did the Chuck Norris joke. I'm going to leave you guys to do the Chuck Norris jokes because, yeah, I love Hudson Hawk. Hudson Hawk is brilliant. But Last Boy Scout is brilliant. Actually, there's a bit in Last Boy Scout where they keep hitting him, and if you hit me again, I'm going to kill you. And they do a very similar thing. What's the one with Guy Pearce in it that's like, I always think of it as Escape from New York 3. Halloween or Friday the 13th. Oh! It's funny you should ask that. Because I was trying to decide on that one today, because I had a Halloween film and the Friday the 13th box set, and I could not make my mind up. The Can I Have a Cigarette scene definitely is one of the greatest ones. And I could not make my mind up between the two, and I was trying to think of who is better. I think I like Michael Myers, but the Halloween in the first film is great, and the other ones are good, but not. But I think the Friday the 13th are a lot easier to watch. That makes sense, because they're all just independent films where they try and tie a story together in the Halloween films, and it gets messy. Yeah, that's my take on it. Yeah, I think I like the first Halloween film. Death had a near Chuck Norris experience. Sorry, couldn't think of what else to ask. It's fine. Would Michael Myers be perfect for an adult Scooby-Doo movie? Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see them do a Scooby-Doo movie, an animated one. Though that's one of the things that Warner Brothers has just cancelled. They've cancelled the next Scoob movie. You know, they did the Scoob one about him as a puppy growing up. They've done another one, and they've thrown it away. Eye Scrappy under the shape on stilts. Yeah. Yeah, and who is it under the mask? And they take it off and it's Scrappy. They could do a Scooby-Doo movie and have all of them in. Freddy, Jason, Michael, and just do it as a... And each one could kill a different member of the Mystery Inc. Until there was only Scooby and Shaggy left. And when Warner Brothers make that movie, remember I said it on here. He wanted revenge on Warner Brothers for dropping him. Yeah. I would like to see an adult. Yeah. They've done an adult version of Winnie the Pooh. The Scooby-Doo sketch. Yes. I gave them permission to show that one. Who is your favourite movie directors? That's an interesting one because, let me have a think. It depends because everybody does different genres. I used to like Spielberg a lot, but I find lately his work's really gone. I used to know Christopher Robin. Okay, cool. The real Christopher Robin, because they've made a horror movie of Winnie the Pooh, which somebody said I sound like Winnie the Pooh. I get told I sound like lots of people, so Winnie the Pooh was one of the weird ones. He owned a local bookshop in Dartmoor. Okay. He gave away the toys he had, which his dad based them on. He gave them away. Spielberg, right. So Cryo Boy, you've said Spielberg, Cameron, McTiernan. Spielberg, I was up for. I watched. I'm dancing. I watched West Side Story the other day. Yeah, and his latest films have been a bit. I would say Cameron, he's still doing some good stuff. That I wish he would put out a Blu-ray or anything of True Lies. I just want that on some format. John Carpenter's a great director. He hasn't done anything in a long time, but if we're just talking about career-wise, John Carpenter has made some fantastic movies. John McTiernan has done some great films, but if ever you watch one of his commentaries, have a pillow ready. Because I watched the one for Die Hard, and I got to the bit where John McClane is sat talking to his wife, and he was talking about the gold leaf in the wallpaper being... yeah. True Lies is on TV now. Is it? Oh, bye. No, I'm staying. Yeah, True Lies is a brilliant film. Brilliant film. Ridley Scott, right, here's an interesting fact for you. Ridley Scott was the kid that they asked to design something for Doctor Who, and he didn't do it because he was too busy, and so they gave it to somebody else. So Ridley Scott nearly designed, drumroll, the Daleks. There you go. Google it, it's true. Tony Scott did some great films. Funny enough, I watched the other day one of my favourite films. We said True Lies, and I always get True Lies and True Romance cross-pollinate. So True Romance is a favourite of mine. So yeah, you can put Tony Scott on the list as well. My 3 best Carpenter films: Halloween, The Thing, They Live. I would say, if you put them in order, The Thing, Christine, Halloween. I think Christine is a brilliant film. I love it. And I've got it on 4K and it looks fantastic. The car is so red. Do you gentlemen prefer Terminator or Terminator 2? I prefer Terminator. I funnily enough, the other week I haven't watched Terminator in years, but just you get to a point where you've got so much to watch, you don't watch it. And I thought, I watched Terminator in years. I put it on. I was like, damn, this is good. Terminator 2, I feel aged a little bit. It feels like it was made, but then again, I suppose the other one, Club Noir, isn't exactly modern, is it? The Fog, yes, The Fog. The Fog is a weird one because I can watch that sometimes and go, oh, I really enjoyed that, and I can watch it other times and go, yeah. It's weird how you get films like that, isn't it? I find Blade Runner like that. I think Blade Runner is a beautiful film, wonderful sets. Would like to see some action figures of Blade Runner. Wonderful sets, wonderful creation, but it can so excite me some days, and some days I watch it and I go, yeah. Yes, definitely the original Terminator though, out of the two. What's your personal Halloween timeline, e.g. Halloween H2O, H20? I don't know really, I just kind of watch them. I don't really like the Rob Zombie ones. They to me are not Halloween, but I picked up Halloween 4 the other day. I was in trading in town, and they'd got it for a £5 Blu-ray secondhand, and it has commentaries on it. And I've started watching the commentary twice now, and I keep getting to the same bit where Dr. Loomis is stood with the upside down ambulance in the river with all the blood, and then something distracts me and I have to turn it off. So the next time I put it on, I'm going to put it on further down the thing. Classic 80s fanboys. So, see, we had great sci-fi shows in the 80s too. Doctor Who, Blake 7 and the Tripods. Tripods was another one I never got to the end of it. It was one of those things I watched and then it kind of just ended, and I was like, oh, it ended. And this was back in the days when we didn't have video recorders. I'm glad you asked. I have Captain Blake from The Fog, Nada, from They Live. Michael Myers from Halloween 2018. Currently on my want list, they are all the retro clothes Neko. Yeah, I must admit the clothes ones are kind of odd because they're a little bit bigger. I do like them though. I'm trying to look over there. I have two, I think. Quint and Hooper. I traded in my Laurie Strode and Loomis because I needed some money and they kept falling over. They were. She was terrible. I'd come home every day and she'd be on the floor like, we've been drinking again. So yeah, I had to go now. Rocketman, great stream. Keep up the good work. Last question: are you going to review any higher toys, alien figures? If I can get them cheap enough, I certainly will. I'm looking at getting some because they seem quite popular, and I need to dip my toe in them again. Like I said, I got the Predator. I think I got the Predator 2 and one of and the size was a little bit odd. So, and I paid what I feel a little bit too much for them. But yeah, I will probably pick some up. So we'll see you later, Mr. Drawing Jack Rabbit. Have fun. Do you like Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers? I must admit it was one of my favourites. I felt it had the classic Halloween season feel to the movie. Yeah, I enjoy it. I kind of enjoy the Halloween films. Yeah, I do enjoy the Halloween films. It's just a shame that they kind of tried to continue, like do one continuous theme, but then didn't, and it gets a bit confusing. And the Man in Black thing and all that just gets a bit confusing. But just watch them as films; they're quite good. And I like the way that Michael looks different in every one of them, even though it's the same mask. Check out Zavvi on Nerd Toys UK. Right, okay. Well, Zavvi's terrible because I've got stuff on order from them, and some of it's been ordered for like 3 years. And every time I ask them about it, they go, "It'll be soon." So I may have to cancel that because it was quite expensive. Stuart Gordon was the best director to adapt Lovecraft concept to the screen, along with it's kind of the Lovecraft stuff Lovecraftian hasn't had a good go in a long time. I did like the Lovecraft County, not my teeth, and that got cancelled. Anyway, I also have a one at Doc Brown and the 1985 and Griff on my want list. I just reviewed the Griff. I finally got one. Took me forever, but I finally got one. It's a great figure, though I didn't make a little boo-boo in it. And I think a few people didn't like the fact that I made a little boo-boo in it because I lost like 5 subscribers. I have to put that video on. So, in order for me to complete my Back to the Future collection, who knows what the accessories pack will come out. Yeah, the accessory pack looks great. If only just for the dog. It would be brilliant to have. It's Einstein, isn't it? It's the modern. I'm trying to. What's the old version of it called? One in the 50s. I want to say Pecun. I can't say it. It's not that I don't know it. I can't. It's in my head. I can't. Somebody type it on there and I'll read it. It'll be a lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. I do need to maybe get some more of the retro clothes ones have their charm. No, yeah, she can stand. I have that problem too. Good. Wasn't just me then. It's kind of weird that they give you stands with some figures and others they don't. And over the warm weather lately, I've noticed that the bigger stands don't, even they don't work. My Elvira, 4 times she threw herself off the shelf. Eventually, she broke the little stand that came with her. So I put her on a bigger stand and she still fell over. So she stood over there now. I've found a pinchy stand, like I have stands everywhere. One of those. That's from the Avengers Mac L. Yeah, she has a stand like that, which I'm going to stand her back on the shelf soon. Quentin Hooper took her spot up there, which is a shame, but she can. I need to readjust my shelves and things. I keep thinking of either getting different shelving or because I don't like doing, like, I was going to call them culls. You know, you go through that thing where you think, right, you've had your time, because they all deserve to be out there. But then if you put them in a box and put them somewhere, you obviously don't need them. It's a weird thing, isn't it? How many of you guys do that, you know, and have a box somewhere that has action figures in boxes, if you know what I mean? Interlinked. Movie reference there, see if you know what that is. Which is your favourite Predator? Definitely going to go with the original Jungle Hunter. Yeah. I must admit that the Alpha action figure is fantastic, but he's one of the little that keeps throwing himself on the floor and taking some of the others out. I must admit that Ahab is fantastic. But the classic Predator will always be a favourite, I have to say. The original, my Predators are on the shelf over there, so that's one I'm going to... That is... Also, Rocketman reviews, they are very open and honest. Doc's dog's name in 95 was Copernicus. There you go. I couldn't say Copernicus. It was in my head, but when it got to my mouth, it came out Copernicus. I can't say it now. Copernicus. Oh my God, Copernicus. I can't even say it right. I'm going to go with Einstein. It's a lot easier to say. Damn, you know what? It was me doing the voice the other day. Spoiled it. I have my Doctor Who 3.7 figures in a box stashed away. Not the greatest of figures, but they have a charm, and I won't throw them away or sell them. Yeah. I'll be sure to watch your Griff review. I have yet to see a review, but the alternative Griff was head-on Biff. Yes, I was going to do that. I may do that just for fun. I was thinking the other day, I may just get a bunch of action figures together and kind of do, not a live, but something a bit like this, and just sit there and mess about with them. And, you know, like Foosh does his toy days, his play days. I'll do something like that. I love that the Alpha Predator is not only a figure, but also an extension from the Dark Horse comics. Yeah. Yeah, the Alpha is a great, and I must admit, I'm looking at him over there, and it's a brilliant looking figure. Brilliant. Yeah, I do love my Predators. I think Predator was one of those films that I would love to see what the world would have thought of it if they'd have kept the original design that they filmed most of it with, that had Jean-Claude Van Damme running around in the jungle looking like a praying mantis. Because if you've seen this, looks terrible. So we may not be sitting here talking about Predator if that version of it had have stayed out there. We'd have probably been sat there going, okay. Yeah. But yeah, the Predator, I do want one from the new film. Prey is brilliant, and I like the design of it. I think it's a really lean, mean fighting machine kind of look for it. I did have trouble with some of the other films where they made them a little bit too big and bulky. Right, we shall see you later, Mr. Classic 80s fanboy. Have a great night. Hopefully we'll see you all in the next one of these. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these because this is fun. Because we're talking, yeah, like we do. Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom was scaring Roger Rabbit. Truly is a talent. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Yeah. Roger Rabbit. I haven't watched Roger Rabbit in years. I may have to. That might have to be a movie I watch. It'll be on Disney Plus, won't it? I have it on Blu-ray, but I'll watch it on Disney Plus. They used to have a lot of Roger Rabbit merchandise. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, wishing everybody good night. Yeah, I love Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit figures. There you go. That's another one. But they made this Predator movie with the old concept of a creature. It's called DNA, starring Matt. Yes. Yeah, DNA. I remember that. I wasn't sure what it was called, but I remember one called, yeah. When I was a kid, we used to go into these things. Hello, you say I'm going back in time here. But when I was a child, we used to have these things called video shops. And you used to go to video shops and they used to have all these wonderful titles. And they used to have things on there and you could get a little magazine and it would tell you what was available. And DNA was one of the ones that I always used to think, oh, that looks really cool. I never got it. I never got to see it because it was an 18 and my dad probably wouldn't have got it out for me. Actually, no, my dad probably would. Again, Rocketman, I praying mantis doing roundhouse kicks against Arnold would definitely have a different take on the Predator film. Yeah, it would be. It would be a very different Predator. And of course, that is another creature that was created by the great Stan Winston and James Cameron, because James Cameron gave him the idea for the mandibles, which is another one of those great designs. Cryo Boy seems to have disappeared. I don't know, he's gone very quiet. Are you all right in there, mate? Or have you gone to bed? He's gone very quiet. I always worry when he goes quiet. Yeah, I have to say, there are a lot of films that have alternative versions that we will probably never see. Rogue One has an alternative version. I would like to see a version of the original version of Predator with just a little bit of it with that running around. It would be fun. Just to go, that's what we escaped, that's what we didn't have to suffer. Do you know, I was going to bring a glass of water with me when I came up here and I didn't, and I really wish I had. Because my mouth's as dry as Gandhi's flip-flop. There you go, put that one in there. I'm looking around at my action figures thinking, what else could we have? Oh, I've got one for you, and okay. Firefly. Oh, Cryo Boy's back. Oh, Van Damme shouting to Dutch, how does it feel to be united? You're still here getting my 4-year-old to bed. Hunted, stupid spell check. I was going to say that didn't make sense, and I'm trying to get over it thinking, what's your favourite Van Damme film? Oh, I don't know. I've never really... I can't honestly think of a Van Damme film off the top of my head now. Hard Target, with the great Lance Henriksen in it. Is that a John Woo film? I seem to think that is a John Woo movie. I'm gonna sit this way because my leg's gone to sleep. Can you hear it snoring? Yeah. Oh, Universal Soldiers as well. Yeah. I remember when I see Universal Soldiers. I was in America once and it was like, yeah, really enjoyed it. Kickbox Universal. Yeah, I was never a big Van Damme film fan. I've watched a lot of them, but he's not high on my list of, like, you know, John Woo directed and got shot to pieces by Van Damme. Now you see, John Woo directed Mission Impossible 2. 2? Yes, 2. Thank you. And because of him, Dougray Scott couldn't go and do the next film he was doing. So they had to get somebody else to do that film. So, because of him, we got Wolverine. He would have been Dougray Scott. If anybody remembers Dougray Scott? Yeah, Dougray Scott. That's how famous he is. He's the guy that in Mission Impossible 2 does the worst Scottish accent ever. And I remember sitting in the cinema really confused because Dougray Scott is Scottish and does the worst Scottish accent ever in a film. So, yeah. Cyborg was cool as I let that one through. They put you in little boxes and think, no. Seeing how Necker put out the Toonie Terror 2-pack of Kesselwolf and Jack, I'm hoping we get a really good Jack and David. I would love to see a good set, because that would be a good one to do, because you kind of want to have Jack as Jack and as all the different versions of him. Yeah. Broken Arrow, another good John Woo film. Yep, John Woo invented the slow-mo scene. I remember watching the one with the guy in the white suit and the guns. I've got a bad memory for names. But yeah, he did one with... I remember watching that as a kid on video from Blockbuster. Blockbuster. The Killer. I think it is, yeah. Oh, it could be hard-boiled. It's one of those. Do you know, all right, how many people, if you're walking somewhere and there's a flock of pigeons take off, how many of you go, John Woo film? Yeah. Oh, John Woo. Anytime a flock of pigeons take off, I instantly think of John Woo. The Killer with Chow Yun-fat. Thank you, Mr. Seven. Legend. Yeah. They could do Jack with multiple head, each one more decaying. Yeah, I'd go with that. Excuse me. They could do Jack with multiple heads, each one. Yeah, definitely. I would like to see that. I would like to see the different heads. If you're a fan of Jack, I'm sat in front of that one because that's one of my only videos that got in trouble because they put a restraint on me thing on it that I can't make any money out of it because it's too horrific apparently. So that's why I'm sat in front of him. Which actor is your favourite Joker? Which is my favourite Joker? That's an interesting one. Let me have a think. I suppose Heath Ledger has to be. Though Jack Nicholson has the most of the thing because that was my Batman film. I remember going to see that, and I saw it twice in one night. I went to see it. I was St Andrews in Scotland. I went to see it, and then the friends up there had got me a ticket, and I went to see it again. But yeah, Heath Ledger probably the modern ones. But yeah, where did I find the jacket? It was on eBay. It was a model kit. I painted it. That's my work. It's one of my earlier videos. Go through some of my older videos. You'll find I did a paint up of it, and you see the different phases of it. But yeah, it is a fantastic. So we've got the Freddy bust. That's my work. Underneath there is a Jason, but I put that on it a couple of months ago, and I haven't taken it off yet. I maybe should because I think it's probably peeling the paint off underneath. But yeah, that is my older hobby. I used to paint a lot of model kits. As I mentioned earlier, I did a Dracula bust and sold it to a guy in LA years ago, and I lost all my pictures of it. I'm going to keep mentioning it and stuff, and one day you might actually see the video I do. I got a NECA Ledger Joker proudly on display. Definitely they're really nice figures. I haven't ever bought one, but I've got friends that have them. Mayfex already nailed it with the Ledger Joker. I think NECA should make a Nicholson one. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I think of doing videos about these guys, but I don't know if you guys are interested in just seeing the model kits and things. I've got let's have a look. I've got Predator 1-to-1. If you go watch the room tour that I did, the last live one I did, there's Predator. There's a face hugger with the body with the face hugger around it. Actually, yes, Cesar Romero is a favourite Joker. What is your Mount Rushmore of favourite figures you own? Is it favourites or ones that give you that warm glow that you remember the thing of them? Because the Secret Wars Iron Man was like the first one. That's where this really started from. Some of my Star Wars figures are also up there because they were my friends when I was a kid. Moderner figures, the ones I'm more proud of, and some of the let's have a think. Actually, do you know what? The ones that I'm so blown away that we have are the black hole figures that from a few years back. I was amazed that we got those. So yeah, yeah. What are your favourites? What's your pride of your collection, action figure wise? Yeah, Cesar Romero is definitely a really good Joker because who else could play the Joker with a mustache and just cover it in white makeup? He was a women loved him. He was like a big film star in his day. Is the McFarlane Cesar Romero Joker coming with his mustache painted? If no, it's all wrong. It does have the mustache there, but you can't quite see it. They've made like a little mark for it, but it's not a big one. It should be, but the figure should be bigger. If it was a bigger figure, it would have more detail. They could probably get in there. The Mayfex figures are great. I just wish I could afford them. They are very expensive to get over here in the UK. I don't know why. because they're more specialist shops and things like that. And my channel is only a little channel, and I make very little money out of doing this. All this costs me money. Yeah. That's why I'm going to have to start showing some of my older collection, because at the minute there's not really a lot coming out. But yeah, I have collected action figures for a very long time, and I collected G.I. Joe when I was younger. I have a lot of the Secret Wars figures. I have a lot of the Superpowers. I have nearly all of the Star Wars figures. I found my torch. Yeah, I have a lot of older figures. So, I'm just thinking now. They made those black hole figures, the robots. And I wish they would make the rest of the crew, or at least a couple of them. Maybe a Reinhardt would be great. Mayfex Figures, it's just a company that make them, but they're a pretty good. They are a pretty good company. I think they are a little bit more. I'm going to put this. They feel a little bit more exclusive. They do put allegedly a little bit more effort into them, but did you hear that? My knee just cracked. Ow! I'm sitting on a little stool thing, and I have to admit, it's not the comfiest thing to be sat on for an hour and 56 minutes. We've been here for 2 hours. What time is it? It's nearly 10 o'clock. Yeah, no sleep till bedtime. My top 4, I'd have to choose NECA Jungle Hunter, Marvel Select Juggernaut, NECA John Rambo. I missed out on one of them. I should have. I wish I could have got one of those. Batman Animated Series blue variant figure. Yeah, I actually have a full set, nearly full set, of the Batman Animated Series ones. The DC ones that were, the earlier ones, and I've never opened them, and I don't know why I never opened them. But now they've been there so long, it seems a shame to open them. Does any of you out there have that figure that you've always kept in a box and you don't know why? Or is it just me? I'm putting in a pre-order on the last Ronin figure. Yep, definitely. Soon, but not sure what version to get. For there's 2 hooded and unhooded. I think that's a shame that they didn't just put like an alternative head in it and let you swap them. They've just done that as a bit of a cash grab. Oh, well, you'll buy 2. Mr. 7, I just want some Grindhouse characters being made in action figures, like Lady in Grey from the Beyond. Yeah. It would be fun to have, to have the Obscura characters. Yeah, I mean, they've done some. I'm trying to think now, what's the Trancers, I hope I said that right. Trancers. Jack Death. That would be a cool figure. And they could do Doll Man as well, because that's the same actor. I don't know his name, but yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Brian, you are definitely right. More money in 2 versions on that last Ronin. Yeah. It is a sad thing, and toy companies are going to do that. I mean, you think about it, Marvel Legends have been doing it for years. How many times have they used the same Iron Man? How many times have they used the same bodies for things and just, swapped heads and stuff? Same with the Star Wars figures. If you really look at those, there's a lot of them that just reuse body parts and things like that. Yeah. Sean D, I was extremely lucky to get the Rambo figure. Very lucky find. I've been trying to find a Dutch figure, but it's not so hard. Yeah, I kind of gave up on the Rambo one. I'll find one day. One day. Cryo Boy, yeah, only allowed 1. The boss says so. Hey, but it's Christmas soon. Ask Santa. I'm sure Santa will help you out. I would say if you'd been a good boy this year, but it's you, so probably not. I'm learning my fan base here, and you want to watch him. He's Yeah, it is a problem. Money is a little bit tight at the moment. We are here in the UK, here in the world. Finances have become a very interesting thing, and these cost me money. I don't get anything sent, and a lot of the reviewers that you watch get stuff sent for free. I don't. I have to buy my stuff, so I'm having to be a little bit picky at the minute. And yeah, I there was some I could pick up today, and I picked up one. I picked one, the one that's like that one, and I might see how money goes for the rest of the week or the rest of the month, and fingers crossed. If I have to run from my house with 4 figures only, it would be NECA's Kessler Wolf, probably Frankenstein. Yes, the Sin City. Yeah, I have them somewhere. I will have to find them. Comic version and Marvel Legends Classic Animated Series Peter Parker. Yep, that's a good list. I don't know. It would be too hard for me to pick. I would have to have a hold all and just be chucking stuff in a hold all. I couldn't leave anything behind. I get really that is my short thing. I get really attached to my action figures. They are. I was thinking about it the other day. My Star Wars figures were my friends when I was a kid, and I could never sell any of them. So Toys put out some cool figures many years back. Jeepers Creepers, I've got that one. Killer Clowns I didn't get. Darkman I've got, to name a few. Too bad Soto went under. I did review the Jeepers Creepers figure a long time ago, and the Darkman one I may do them again, because I've got better at this. I tell myself that. I know you guys don't think so, but I tell myself that I've got better at this. It'd be so fun. Yes, the Sato ones are brilliant. Yes, Sato Street Fighter figures were awesome. I never got those, but I remember seeing them shop. They were really expensive. That's why I only got the Jeepers Creepers and the Darkman. Darkman I had to have. Killer Clowns, I was like, oh, I'll get them, and then I never saw them again. SH Figure Arts and Storm Collectibles make great Street Fighter figures as well. They do, but SH Figure Arts are really expensive. They're in the UK. So, yeah. It's sad because there was like... Sato were around at the beginning of NECA, when NECA was starting. And I used to get confused because that was back in the day when action figures were posed and not that much of action figures. Yeah, they'd be stood and that was it in an action pose. Love to see a re-review of the... I will definitely do one of those. There you go. That's next week's... One of next week's videos will be a re-review of the Darkman. I don't think I have the box anywhere, but I definitely have the figure. He's on the top of the shelf up there. I always think that should have come with the... Bruce Campbell head. Should have come with the Bruce Campbell head, because he walks away looking like Bruce Campbell. Love to see that. My 4 fave figures just now are... Many of the most recent purchases: a 5-inch Sauron, a 7-inch bendy Sauron. Okay. You said don't laugh, and then I laugh. How bad does that make me look? Let me read that again. Rewind. Yep. My 4 favourite figures, most recent purchase: 5-inch Sauron, 7-inch bendy Sauron, repainted credit collection, Mondo and McCree, and the Nazgul horse. Yes, I laughed again. Take the effing elephant, Darkman. Yes, the elephant Darkman. I like Darkman. Darkman was it's got Janet Agatha in it, hasn't it? For like one little bit. I can't say Janet Agatha. It doesn't come out right. It comes out Janet Agatha. Jennifer Agatha. Yeah, Darkman is one of those great films. It's I don't like the Sam Raimi Spiderman films, but I like Darkman. Sue me for it. Yeah, Darkman is a film that would deserve some action figures. And they made sequels. There's just 2 sequels. There's one of them, Die Darkman Die and Darkman Live or something like that, and it's Arnold Vosloo, the guy that played the Mummy. It's him doing it. It's years since I watched it. Yeah, the Final Chase is crazy. Yeah, Liam Neeson said he would like to revisit Darkman. That would be fun. Darkman, do you know, thanks guys, I now have a list of films to watch next week. Thank you. Darkman I've got that on Blu-ray. Picked up a Blu-ray of that years ago. Yeah. Stood there with old managers going, I have a certain set of skills. Imhotep. How do you say Imhotep? Imhotep? It sounds like a dance routine when you say that. Imhotep. I like it. There's another they could do some action figures from The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser one. I'd like some figures from that. I was always upset that there wasn't Imhotep. Right. Thank you, Cryo Boy. I'm glad you're here to correct my English. It would be awesome to see Liam Neeson reprising the role after the fame he got as an action hero. Yeah. Well, it is, because is it Kroll? He's in Kroll. He's a great actor, and he would have been in Darkman. He was in Darkman. He would have been in Monster Squad, but they changed the Dracula. I think he's in one scene. I think they filmed one bit with him. It's like the back of his head as he's walking across somewhere. So, yeah, Imhotep. I can now hear them chanting it. Imhotep. Yeah, but some 90s Mummies figures would be brilliant. I think it is one of those films I remember going to see it at the cinema, and as the credits were going up, I was like, that was fantastic. I remember coming out. It's up there for me in the Indiana Jones. How do you guys rate the Indiana Jones films, right? Because I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, but then I don't feel like Temple of Doom and Last Crusade are the same character. I enjoy them as films, but that first film, that Indy, is slightly... Each one he gets slightly watered down. I know in the second one he's still quite mean, but I don't know. They made him a little bit more comedic in the second one, but I think the first one was the best. Yes, the Anubis Warriors. I can say Anubis. Anubis Warriors are brilliant. I haven't watched the second one. I had to look for it the other day because I've got 1 and 3, but I haven't got 2. And I was like, oh, okay. So when I was in town the other day, I had to look to see if you could get, I was in HMV, 2, and they had 1 and 3 for $9.99 each, and then 1, 2 and 3 for 15 quid. And I was like, well, who's going to buy the... But I've got, so I didn't feel like buying them again. Yes. Actually, do you know what? The Van Helsing film is great. It's maybe not the Universal monsters that we wanted. And at the time, I will admit, I was like, what have you done? This is not my Frankenstein, what's it? They are more like, to me, more like the Hammer versions than the Universal ones. But over time, I have come to quite love Van Helsing, and I would like to see some action figures from it. Have you ever seen the other film he did? He did Deep Rising. If you haven't seen it, it's got Benny in it, and I want to say Channing Tatum. It's not Channing Tatum. It's what's his name? He's the bad guy in the Phantom. That should give you a clue. But it's the bad guy in the Phantom, and it's a boat with a creature in it. And if you've seen it, you'll know the girl from Ipanina's in it. But that's a different thing. But that would be a good set of action figures. It's got what's her name in it as well. The original Jean Grey on the top. No, I mean she's in the Bond film. She plays on the top. That was embarrassing. Raiders is the it moved. Raiders is the best. Last Crusade is second. Temple of Doom third. Young Indy was great. Indy 4. Was there an Indy 4? Was there an Indy 4? I didn't know that. I never knew there was an Indy 4. I got my money back from going to see that because the speaker was broken in the cinema, and I complained, and they said sorry and gave me my money back, and the guy said it was a crap film anyway, and I went, yes, it was. Anyway, I do enjoy Temple of Doom, but I enjoy them as 3 different films. Yeah, Does that make sense? I enjoy them as 3 different films. It doesn't... Famke Janssen, that's the one I was looking for. On a top. Xenia, on a top. Yeah, I enjoy them as 3 different films. But I still do. Temple of Doom, apart from the fact that Steven Spielberg's wife screams all the way through it. I burned my fingers and I cracked a nail. And I hate you. I really like the 4th Indie film, Indie 2. I can't hate it like some guys. I can see why people like it. I think it's a generational thing. But I don't enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy it. And I probably never will. Anyway. Which is your favourite classic Universal monsters? I've got to go with Creature from Black Lagoon. I have to admit, Creature from Black Lagoon is pretty high on my list. I was talking with my good friend Jordan the other day about this. My second favourite is probably... I do like Abbott and Costello meet the Universal Monsters one. That Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, I think it is, isn't it? I do like that. Because it's got them all in it. But yeah, Wolfman is kind of a favourite. But Creature from Black Lagoon is probably my favourite. And of course, Clint Eastwood was in Creature from Black Lagoon too. Return of the Creature from Black Lagoon. Yeah, Wolfman. Yeah, Kane Witherall says Wolfman. Opening scene in Indy 4 was brilliant, but let down. A few duff moments. Yeah. Do you know, I'm going to watch it again. I haven't watched it in probably 2 or 3 years. I think the last time I watched it was on TV at Christmas one time, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And I was like, no, it wasn't that bad. So, and I only watched bits of it. I think it's Shia LaBeouf in it, or LaBeouf, or whatever his freaking name is. He ruined Transformers for me, but we don't talk about that. Creature is a top one with its wish list from Universal Monsters since forever, and we're getting one. We're getting NECA are doing. That's one of the next ones. Is the Creature from Black Lagoon. So, fingers crossed. I hope they do a black and white one as well, because that would look cool in black and white. Wolfman, loved Chaney's performance in it from start to finish. I have to admit, I actually watched the remake the other day, and it was actually really cool. I'd forgotten. I was a bit with it when it first came out, but watching it again down the line, I kind of enjoyed it. Interesting thing, there's a bit where he's running through London when he escapes from the asylum in the remake, and Del Toro, no, it's not Del Toro, whoever the guy that's playing the Wolfman is, and he causes a bus crash and things like that, which is a nod and a wink to American Werewolf in London. And if you watch American Werewolf in London, the bus driver is Vic Armstrong, who is Harrison Ford's stunt double in the Indiana Jones films. So, and I once talked to him, and he's a really nice guy, and he told me that he was the bus driver in American Werewolf in London. So there you go. Yeah, I think the Lon Chaney performance in the original is brilliant, because he was a really good actor. He'd done Of Mice and Men before that, and I think he won an Oscar for that, or if not, he was nominated. And he was such a good actor, but then he got into the thing of doing. He is the actor that the Wolfman is the only Universal monster played by one actor, which was him. Lon Chaney Jr. played the Wolfman, but he also played Dracula, Frankenstein's Creature, and the Mummy. So yeah, Del Toro. There you go. Benicio Del Toro and Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But yeah, I hadn't watched it in a long time, but because I was doing the review of the black and white Wolfman, and I thought, I'll watch the Wolfman, and I thought, no, because I've watched it a gazillion times doing reviews lately. So I watched the remake, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Benicio Del Toro's Wolfman was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yes, the new Doctor Who B&M sets are awful. Thank you, W videos and reviews. Also, that new series. Yeah. They didn't block you for that one. Somebody else got blocked earlier for a comment like that. That's your title. You got away with that. Wow. I nearly called this channel Tony Stank. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Nobody's ever asked me why the channel's called what it's called. But anyway. Well, didn't those guys were involved on this film? Great. And this scene is a great homage to American Werewolf. A great, cool movie. American Werewolf in London is one of my all-time favourite movies. Up there. There we go. You're live. We've come back. We've been on for 2 hours. It panics when you get to 2 hours. Oh no, it's gone back. It's gone back like 10 minutes because we were on 2 hours something. Did he tell me on the other one? No. Yeah, American Werewolf in London is a classic. And I live in Yorkshire, where it's set, and they filmed it in Wales. So I was going to go, you know, as a teenager, I learned to drive, and I thought, brilliant, I'm going to drive to all those places. Where are they? It's Wales. So one day I will go to Wales. What's my favourite classic Who figure I own? Probably one of my John Pertwee's. John Pertwee is my favourite Doctor. So, actually, I'll tell you what it is. It's John Pertwee's Doctor and Joe Grant. I've got the two of them, and they're my favourites because they're my two favourite Doctor and companions. I like the Pertwee era. It's all action and adventure. So yeah. Hey Rocketman, stay off the moors. Stay on the path, lads. Aye, stay on the path, lads. Brian Glover went to college with... Did he go to college? No, he was teaching at a school that one of my school teachers taught at. One of my school teachers, and I can't remember what her name was, but she got asked out by a bloke called Ryan Atkinson. Don't know if you've ever heard of him. And she turned him down because she said he looked too weird. Yeah, stay off the moors, lads. Aye. I remember once going on... We were out one day out in the countryside, and we stopped at... You know when you're thirsty and we stopped at a pub to get a Coke or something? Oh, well, we'll get a Coke. And we went into this pub, and it was a proper country pub, a little village, and it wasn't called the Slaughtered Lamb, but we went in and it was like that. Everybody turned and looked at us, and we went and walked back out again. There was like three of us, and we went, anyway, weather's been nice, hasn't it? And left. Got back in the car and drove off. Yes, Joe Grant is the best companion. Definitely. She's one of my favourites. Because she's got a bit of both. She's quite good at not being too scared, but she does do the running around, and yeah, she's one of the more fun companions. I can do a good... It's still too heavy. It's still too heavy. You see, the last time when I did the review of the Kessler Wolf, which is one of my most watched videos, so thank you to everybody that watched that. But when I did that review, I wanted to do something about the joke that he does in the film. Now, how many of you know what the joke is? Right? The punchline. Check out. And I realised that I am watched all over the world, and I had a horrible fear that somebody would think I was being mean to Mexicans, and it is the joke that's in the film. And I walked out, so I didn't make the joke in the film, in the thing. I just left it. I was like, no, I can't do that. It's just it'll go wrong. Okay, we shall see you later, Brian. Have a great night. It is getting a little late. I am going to have to wind this up soon. And I will definitely do you a Darkman review. And do you know what I like that you guys say goodbye to everybody? It's really cool. Let me just... Oh, there we go. It's this little thing that I'm sat on is like leather. It's like pleather. So, yeah. Yeah. How long have we been on for now? Because it's now gone to 5 minutes 44, and I don't think it's 5 minutes 44 at all. We've been on here for over 2 hours. So, and the numbers keep going up. We've got, I think the maximum we've had is 10. We're on 7 now. So, you guys keep dropping in and out. We haven't really talked much about the action figure thing that I did, but I think the next time we do this, we're just going to I'll just come on here and we'll just have a chat. Because that's all we really do, isn't it? But it's fun. You guys have been really good fun to hang around with so far. Yeah? I really appreciate the little group of you that, yeah, it makes this feel worthwhile, because there's days where I kind of look at this and I think, what am I doing? I'm sitting there talking randomly out loud. But you guys make it worthwhile because you watch my channel. We're on 5,818, I think it was when I last looked. But yeah, I'm amazed I got to 5,000. So I'm kind of hoping. I would love to think it's my birthday in November. I would love to get. That would be my perfect birthday present. Would be to get to 10,000. It's not gonna happen, but I can dream. If I can dream. I've been listening to a lot of Elvis lately. I watched the Elvis movie the other day, and I really enjoyed it. I was a bit disappointed that the Tom Hanks was just playing Tom Hanks a little bit with a funny accent, but the guy playing Elvis, I can't remember his name, but the guy playing Elvis was brilliant. But, yes. It's kind of weird because I can see, I don't know if you can see this. I have a laptop there that I don't see. Yeah. So that's where I'm reading your comments from, because it's easier than trying to read it off of the screen on here, because I've got to kind of tap it. And at the minute, it's still on 8:19. It's Daz something asking about Hound of Dracula and stuff like that, so that's how behind that is. When it fades away. Oh, thanks. My favourite UK reviewer. UK reviewer. He likes all the American ones more. The guy who plays Elvis is the same one that plays Tex on the last Tarantino movie, ain't it? Is it? Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird because he didn't. When I started watching, I was like, well, he's not like Elvis. But by the end of it, I was like, he looks like Elvis. He really grew on me as Elvis. Yeah, Kurt Cobain would be an interesting one, because he had a very interesting life. I keep picking up little bits about him, and he really did have maybe not the greatest of lives, but an interesting one. Yeah. Once Upon a Time in America, yeah. I think that's the one that he's in, yeah. I haven't watched, yeah. I need to watch that again. I've only watched it once. That's the problem with a lot of the Tarantino films, because they're so long. Nearly as long as this video, as long as this episode. Aston Butler, yeah. Was it that Shannon's Fantasy series? It was okay. Oh, Shannon, yeah. The one that was from the books, which, because Lord of the Rings was popular, they tried to jump on a bandwagon. But yeah, I saw a bit of it and it looked quite interesting. I know that you, Cryo Boy, you like your Lord of the Rings and stuff, so yeah. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Nobody's ever asked. Let me explain to you why the channel is called Return of the Rocketman. Oh, Steve, finally. I always wanted to have a comic book shop, and my dream comic book shop would have been called Return of the Rocketman. So there you go. Simple as that. That's it. Yeah, don't get excited. That's not the most exciting story, but that is my name for that. They're my favourite action figure reviewer. Amazing work. Thank you. There was a thing on the other day. Who was it? Shatmas Prime. He did a live video, and somebody had picked out the top YouTube action figures influencers. Am I a reviewer or an influencer? I don't know, but they'd done a top, and I wasn't on the list, even in the NAF section. And I was like, oh, okay. And there was other people on there that I watch on here, and I was like, okay. So it did hurt my feelings a little bit. I wasn't even mentioned on any of it, which I didn't think I would be at all. But it was more that other people were on there that I thought there's better people than them. Yeah. You're definitely my favourite. I like that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I've had a bit of a rough week this week, and I'm doing this video tonight to kind of get myself back into the swing of things. You know what I mean? And I've had a rough week, so thank you guys. You've really, really helped. You've helped me out. Yeah, you've made me feel very cheerful. Yeah, one day I'll be. I don't know. I would like to be up there with people like the Foosh and things like that. It would be nice. But I have you guys, so I have my I have my little band, my little Rocketeers, and you guys all make it worthwhile. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm getting all. What's it now? So we'll change the subject to something less emotional. What do you guys think of the? Because we're gonna have to wind this up soon. What do you guys think of the Christian Bale Batman films? Because I don't like Christian Bale as Batman. I like him in the first film, but in the other ones, the silly voice thing really irritates me. There you go. That's just my thing. Yeah, it's me trying to change the subject. Didn't do very well. I found these. I've been looking for these for like 2 weeks, and now I found them. They were under my chair. I don't know why they were under my chair, but they were. Who put them under my chair? Was it by Paul McCartney? You've all gone very quiet on there. It's a lot easier when I read stuff off an edit, you guys are saying. Yeah. What action figures would you like me to look for? What action figures would you like me to try and find to review? Because I have a couple on... I have one on order. I have the... I shouldn't tell you about this, because whenever I tell people about what I've ordered, some of the other YouTubers nick my ideas and they get them quicker than me, and then they review them and they pretend that, oh yes, I got sent this by Necker, and it's like, no you didn't. I've got the Bride of Frankenstein April O'Neil figure ordered, so hopefully that arrives soon. Dark Knight was and always will be epic, but Affleck is my Batman. I have to admit, Ben Affleck, the look, the way he plays it, he has the voice changer and everything. He is and always will be, for me, the perfect Batman. End of. And he never got a good film. The films he's in, but him, character-wise, is the best. Yes, I shouldn't be allowed to shout things. Yeah, they do hide things from me like that. Yeah, they don't let me have stabby things. Probably because I call them stabby things. Yeah. I have a little knife in my pocket at work because I have to open boxes now and again, and yeah, that's the nearest thing I ever get to a stabby thing. I kind of like the Nolan movies, but I don't like his depiction of Batman that much. It's kind of ridiculous, but they treat superheroes too much serious in a movie. Yeah. Yes, the warehouse fight scene in that is the best fight scene Batman has ever done. Even though it is very violent and probably kills people, but yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with the Nolan films. The Nolan films for me are the reason that we're suffering all these really drab and serious DC movies, because they're trying to make more and more films like that. I don't want to say Frank Miller. The guy that did Mad Max, he was doing a Justice League film, but because they made those ones, they didn't make that because it was too. And the guy that they were getting to play Batman in that was I can't remember his name now. He was in Man from U.N.C.L.E., the remake of the thing, but he's now he became a cannibal and disappeared off to Peru apparently. Trust me, Google it. Dark Knight Rise fight scenes are hilarious. There's a vid on YouTube apparently out. Funny things. Yeah, it is. They are very weird. I think Dark Knight, is that the third one? I think I've only maybe watched it twice. I just cannot get through it. I don't know. It just, you know, when you get those films, you just go, I can't watch this. It's just not. It's not my Batman. It's not my Batman. Yeah. I truly enjoyed the Christopher Nolan Batman films. I did appreciate Nolan's take on them. Yeah, I don't not enjoy them, but it's just the way he does the Batman with his own voice and stuff like that. I truly enjoyed it. Ben Affleck was amazing. Yes, definitely. Batfleck suffers too much from the way the studio intervened. Yeah, definitely. I'm a huge fan of Batman Returns with Keaton and Danny DeVito. I have to admit, it's a film I can enjoy some days and not others. That's another one on my list of when I'm in the mood I can really enjoy it. Yeah. Miller's idea of Batman is one of the greatest for sure. Yeah. I did like the new film, The Batman. I did enjoy that. I remember going to see Batman Returns, and yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's weird how you I don't know. It's such a long time ago now. Actually, I quite like Batman Forever. I think Val Kilmer does a great Batman, and one of the best superhero movies for me. Yeah, it's C. Okay. My best Batman will always be Kevin Conroy. I have to admit, the Batman the animated series. If anybody was ever to ask me what is Batman, what should I watch if I want to learn about Batman and the thing of it, I would say watch Batman the animated series, because they are brilliant. They are brilliant takes on those characters. Right, brilliant. Wow, that was only a question asked like 3 hours ago. The movie was called Alien Abduction, the McPherson Tape. Brilliant, thank you for that. Excellent. I shall Google that and see if I can find it. Animated series is awesome, definitely. On here in the UK, we used to get it shown on a Saturday morning. We suffered over here from having kids shows on a Saturday morning with presenters. So they used to do lots of silly interviews and things like that, and it was the presenters being silly, and I used to go, get on with it. Where in America and places like that, you just had Saturday morning cartoons. The McPherson tapes are apparently real. UFOs is my jam. Okay. Actually, I will check whether that's the one that I think it is. But yeah. Yeah, and so we had the Batman the animated series, but it was cut into little bits and put like one episode through a 2-hour program on a morning. So when I used to go to work with my mum and dad on a Saturday, and so I could watch it. So I used to have to take the 2-hour program and then fast forward through it, watch that bit, fast forward through it, and watch that bit. So yeah, it always used to really annoy me that I couldn't just sit and watch it. So I have the Blu-ray box set, and I've watched one disc of it. I was thinking today, I was looking for something to watch, and I went like that, and then ended up watching Ghostbusters again. Yeah. So the McPherson tapes are apparently real. UFOs is my jam. Okay. I do find UFO stuff interesting. I kind of think that there must be life out there, but I don't know whether they build spaceships and come here. I sometimes think that this is just my, like a nutter name, but I think UFOs are just us from the future coming back to have a look, like theme park rides. Oh, look at the humans because we're all getting bolder and we're getting bigger eyes and stuff like that. So it's just us from the future. Yes, travelling back in time. My God, Marty. So yeah, so we have been on here a long time, and I'm dying for a cup of tea. So I think I'm gonna have to wind this one up. Will anyone be turning into rings of power, or I'm opening a can of worms here? The rings of power, I will probably have a dabble at, but it looks terrible. I'm sorry, but your wife is definitely okay. Nanu. Oh, I crossed some things there, didn't I? Nanu. I told somebody once if you go see it, they were going to see one of the new Star Wars films, and they said, "Can I say something that'll make me look really cool?" And I said, "Yeah, say you like Jar Jar Binks. They'll love you for it." They asked him to sit away from them. I saw Alien Abduction, the McPherson tapes around 2000, was one of those pay-per-view movies I never forgot. Yeah, it is really, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's really interesting. I love the Batman Forever. I agree with Val Kilmer doing a great job as Batman. He was great. No, yeah. I think the Rings of Power thing, I think it's just like everything that we've got these days, it has to be woke, and I'm not against all the things of doing things like that. It's just do it for the right reasons. Don't fiddle with things because you want to look clever. I know a lot of people are really, I'm going to be controversial here, the Sandman TV series. everybody's really excited about it and saying how great it is, but I kind of, the characters don't look like the characters that I know, so I haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of waiting until I don't know, until it's calmed down a little bit and we maybe get some real reviews. I bought the box set of Batman Animated Series. It's definitely worth getting, just to watch all of them. I don't think it's got all of them in there though. I think there's one season missing, the last season that they did, which is slightly different animation, but yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to wind this up because I'm thirsty and I've been on here for 2 hours. But don't worry, we will do this again. We'll do this again real soon. I'm trying to think, which one was that? Rainbow? All you English people will remember that. I'll see you all again real soon. So yeah. So thank you, Crowboy, Sean D, Kane Weatherall, and all of you out there that have made comments and stuff like that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a team. It's been great talking with you. I wish you guys could talk back to me like I'm talking to you now. It's been fun, and we will do this again definitely, even if we just sit here and talk rubbish for a few hours. It's been fun. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great night, and I will see all my Rocketeers later. Have a good one. I'm really going to go put the kettle on now and have a big pot of tea because I am gagging. Next time I do this, somebody remind me to bring a glass of water with me. Have a fantastic time, guys. I'll see you all later. You're still making comments up there. Been a pleasure, guys. Sean. Oh, yeah. See ya. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. I don't even know how to turn this off now. I'm presuming there's a big... It's been... You know when there's a big red button? There's been a big X in the top corner up there, and it's been bugging me all the way through it. That what happens if I press that X? So shall I press the X and see what happens? Here we go. You ready? Oh, it says, are you sure want to stop streaming? I shall see you all later. Have a great day. Bye now.